Cool. Alrighty, I think live stream's working. So here's a map of Icewind Dale for you guys. I'm sure you've had enough time to look at it. I mean, it's a map of Icewind Dale region. The notable locations would be the 10 towns here. Here's another map for you guys, just to have it for reference. You'll see a maps folder pop up in the party folder there. That's where all your stuff's going to go for handouts and things like that. In terms of like inventory items, there's another folder that'll pop up called inventory, but I think you guys might have the cold weather clothing in that one so far. Yeah, everyone has a set of that cold weather clothing as well. I'll just remind you guys how freezing it is. I mean, lower than 45 degrees Celsius, you're basically in Antarctica. You won't last very long in these harsh conditions. Even cold weather clothing can only do so much. It'll help fight off the cold, but it's not a fail-safe. We're going to be starting today's session in Brin Shander. We already had a session 0, so we already created characters, and we talked about your character's history, what they did before they became an adventurer, why they're in Icewind Dale, and what you're currently doing now, which you'd all be in Brin Shander. We decided it would be the most obvious location for everyone to meet. It's the first town that you reach when you travel in from the Sword Coast up through the 10 Trail, through Hundlestone, and you arrive at Brin Shander. It's the biggest city of them all. So let's actually talk about Brin Shander a little bit. So every time you guys visit one of these towns, I'm going to give you a handout, and it's going to be like this. It's going to have a map of the town, and there'll be some information. I'm going to read that information to you guys in a second, but we established that multiple characters here are familiar with Icewind Dale at the very least. So some basic things like there's 10 towns. You know the name of the 10 towns. You know the sort of people that inhabit these 10 towns. You know about the Reghead barbarians that inhabit the tundras and move with the migration of animals, herds of elk and whatnot that scour the tundra. You may be familiar that Goliath live in the spine of the world, and that dwarves exist in the Dwarven Valley through a series of mines. They all hail under Clan Battlehammer, which basically are dwarves that now dominate the north in terms of their trade, and they've had a few little rough patches, but they're under the command of King Bruno Battlehammer, a very famous dwarven adventurer. So you guys are familiar, at the very least, with the basics, the fundamentals of Icewind Dale, such as this river / lake is the Mare de Walden. This is Lac Dinashir, Red Waters, and Shengan River, Red Run. They lead west towards the Sword Coast. The Reghead Glacier over here, which is a huge glacier. It's just a giant block of ice, essentially, kind of like a mountain with a flat top. A sea of moving ice over here. It's made out of multiple ice flows. So all these things on the map you guys are familiar with. Spine of the world, massive series of mountains that kind of separate the true north from the rest of the north in Faerun. Every time you visit a town, or perhaps even when you're thinking about visiting a town, I'll bring up these handouts to give you guys a bit of information. I won't give them all to you at once because it's just going to be a flood of information that's not necessary. Alright, Brin Shander. First stop for most visitors to Icewind Dale is Brin Shander, a walled town perched atop a cold, lonely, wind-lashed hill. Bright lanterns suspended over narrow streets twist in the wind and add flecks of colour to the town's otherwise drab surroundings. The friendliness in this settlement has dwindled of late. Oral's unyielding winter has greatly reduced the number of visitors to Brin Shander, and local trade is suffering for it, eating away at the local sense of humour and goodwill. Still, there is no safer place in Icewind Dale to spend coin or to spend the night. That's what you guys have done. We're actually going to be waking up the next morning after staying the night in the inn. The walls of the town stand some 30 feet high and are defined by 2 concentric rings of upright wooden poles, the gap between them filled with dirt and rubble. The outer ring of poles rise above the top of the wall, providing a rampart for defenders stationed on the wood-planked walkway. The wall's hinged gates are 15 feet tall, and they can be barred from the inside with iron-banded wooden beams. The gates are closed when it's dark outside, which is to say, more often than not. So I will reiterate that the sun does not currently rise above the horizon. In fact, it doesn't even break the horizon. You will have a meager 4 hours per day of twilight, a dawn and a dusk, and nothing more and nothing less. So when you get these handouts, there'll be a snowflake rating system for the friendliness, services, and comfort to be found within each town. Brin Shander has 3 snowflakes for friendliness, 3 snowflakes for services, and 3 for comfort. And 3 actually is the highest. It's out of 1 to 3. So you've got all of the top services that Icewind Dale has to offer you guys in this town. The population is 1,200. The leader is Speaker Duvessa Shane. She speaks for the townfolk. Though relatively young, she is the head of the Council of Speakers, and Sheriff Markham Southwell commands the militia. In times of trouble, Brin Shander can muster up 250 soldiers, which are basically, it's a militia, it's townfolk who have been taught how to use a spear, who are able to fight, men and women. For the heraldry, it's black antlers above a vertical shaft of golden wheat on a white field, signifying the town's strength and prosperity on the vast, snowy tundra. It looks like this. It's a heraldic symbol. So, as you guys had heard, and should know, your characters should know, each town is sacrificing. They are making sacrifices to appease Oral, the Frostmaiden, to hope that perhaps she'll end this never-ending winter and bring summer back to the Dale. Brin Shander sacrifices people. At every new moon, there is one person, at least, that is sacrificed to Oral. And they could be left out for polar bears to be eaten. They could be burned at the stake. They could be hung in public or something else inhumane. And that's held on every new moon. There's a lottery that is held. So you guys will be getting a lottery ticket. Brin Shander is the capital, and it does not have any rival towns. Overland travel from Brin Shander. It's connected to East Haven by the Eastway. That's a snow-covered road. In addition, there are snowy paths to Caer Dineval and Goodmead, Targos, Tourmaline, and there's a table there for the travel times. They're for traveling on foot. So if you want to get to East Haven, it's 7.5 hours. If you want to get to Targos town, it's 2 hours. If you've got sled dogs or some other mount, then you can halve those times by as much as 50%. Okay, so that's just a little bit of information about Brin Shander. We'll go over to the map of the town. This is the town here. It's it's a ring town, a ringed wall, and most of these buildings that you're seeing on this map are residential. There is a market square in the center of the town where basic provisions can be had. There's a place to stable your horses. There is the Speaker's Town Hall. One of the most notable temples would be the House of the Morning Lord over here. And these locations are locations that are points of interest for your characters, places you'll know. Black Iron Blades is it's a smithy, but it's not just a smithy. It's also a bit of a bric-a-brac. They sell all sorts of things there. Cold weather gear, ice picks, snowshoes, adventuring gear. And then you guys are going to be in the North Look. The North Look is an inn and a tavern. It's the establishment most frequented by mercenaries and adventurers and such. It can be very rowdy and dangerous. The tavern owner, Scramsax, he has a bit of a reputation for cutting a break for customers who are between jobs, allowing them to stay on credit. And then when they can't pay their debts, he likes to show that he used to be an adventurer and he still knows how to fight. He doesn't take later for an answer. Anyway, you guys are in the Northlook Tavern. You've just woken up. So, you're all in your rooms at the moment, most of you. Varys, you're on the latrine. You woke up a little bit earlier and you drank a little bit last night. So you're just hanging out on the latrine at the moment. So, it's about 8 a.m. We'll use actual 24-hour time to describe what time it is, although your characters probably refer to it as noon, dusk, dawn. It's easier for you guys to comprehend just the 24-hour clock. 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 1 p.m., so on and so forth. Alright, we're going to go around the table now and let's see how you guys are going to navigate your way through a world that never sees the light of day. You've just all woken up. You each have a simple room for the night. That's already been paid for. It hasn't been paid for. It's on your tab. Your rooms are on your tab. And the rooms are very simple. They have a bed. They have a chest of drawers. They have a footlocker, a bedside table with a candle, and that's it. You've just gotten up. You can use this time now if you wish to prepare spells and whatnot if you haven't already. And you're just waking up for a day. You've literally all just arrived in Brin Shander recently. And you're about to head out into the tap room and have some breakfast and see what's going on. So what we'll do is we'll actually describe our characters. We'll go around the table, describe our characters, and then you guys can find your way out and take a seat somewhere in the tap room, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll start off with Mimi.
So Mimi is old gnome, kind of portly. Probably looks a little bit more like a very, very short dwarf. Getting up, she'll kind of redo her hair into her little braids and go through her ritual of preparing her spells. As she's doing it, she's probably talking to an invisible creature that she calls Sir Waldo. She thinks it's her familiar, but to be clear for everybody here, she doesn't actually have a familiar, so don't expect it to do anything. Yeah, she's just old woman. She's probably sleeping with a pot on her head.
Okay. Alrighty, how does Mimi navigate in the dark? Does she just rely on dark vision? Or torch
she does.
Or something? Okay. Now, when you're ready, you can
dark vision.
You can get up and find your way to the tap room. You can hear the rowdy hustle and bustle of the tap room coming from the east down the ends of the hallway. All right, next we have.
She does have a.
Oh, continue.
She's got a quarterstaff that she's kind of using as like a walking cane.
Okay. All right, you'll start to see and feel the warmth and the glower and the ambience of the tap room as you head out. You can pull up on. There's only one spare table, so you can pull up on that table there. It's pretty full of patrons. Dendovich.
Yeah, so Dendovich, I talked about him before in session 0. Not much has really changed about him. He's kind of a loner, as it would be. He's been 10 towns for about 10 years or so. He's gotten pretty accustomed to the area, but he does like to keep to himself. He's a bit secretive about anything. He is, however, notably for getting jobs done. So either it's something small like handiwork or something a little bit tougher like guarding some cargo or venturing forth. He is quite commendable for being able to deliver at least. However, he's not often looking for work because he does just about the bare minimum he can to get by and kind of sort of lives paycheck to paycheck, as it were. And that's about the end of it in a nutshell.
All right, how does he navigate the dark?
Not too well. So if he's just waking up in his bed, I think the first thing you would do is reach over to the nightstand and see if his past self has left his future self just a little bit of ale to get him going in the morning. And knowing his past self, it's probably empty. So that's a misadventure in itself. Then I guess he would fumble around a bit and reach for a candle, or if he was smart enough to leave his lantern on the side, either strike and light up either one of those.
What would you like, a candle or a lantern?
He's usually got a lantern, so I'll probably light that up. Hooded lantern.
Okay, there we go. You'll be able to use that to see. Actually, I can just... It'd probably be better if I actually just adjust your actual lighting. So you don't have to move the lantern around. Alright, you can... this is probably immediately you've just woken up, but once you're ready to face the world kind of thing, you can guide yourself down the hallway and head to the east and find the tap room.
Yeah, he'd go ahead and get his effects and get ready.
Alright, Ash.
Okay, so Ash is a white-skinned, white-haired tiefling. He's got kind of plain-looking winter clothes, not really armor to speak of. A large kind of skinned wolf hide as a kind of cloak, and getting out of bed, he'll kind of do some stretches and pick his warhammer up from out of the resting in the corner of the room, and look around the room, gathering his bearings for a second using his dark vision, and once he's reoriented with what he's doing for the day, start to head outside.
Okay. Yeah, you can find your way to the tap room. It's down the hall and to your right or left, to the east of this map. Righty, Winston.
Right. Winston is a relatively tall man. He has pale skin, dark hair, and an average build. You'll find him always wearing warm, dark robes, but that's pretty typical given the climate of the area. You may have seen him around the tavern. He doesn't mind keeping his own company, but you'll often see him striking up conversations with others, making friends to get information or form useful alliances. When he wakes up, he's going to reach into his belongings, light a torch, and proceed to the common area.
Okay. There we go. You can head out to the tap room. It's over to the east, you'll hear the hustle and bustle. Alrighty, next up we have Jirus.
Jirus, a young human, just out of his teens. Has long dark hair, looks like he hasn't cut his hair in a really long time. He's incapable of growing facial hair, and he is annoyingly friendly, pretty naive, and to see in the dark produces flame.
Alright, produce flame, it's like a torch, I think. A bit less. It's like a mini torch. You hold a ball of fire in your hand and you can use that to navigate. When you're ready, you can head on out of the room and down the hallway. Alrighty. Next up we have Varys.
Alright, Varys is a middle-aged man. I don't know if anyone read the his bio and info, but it's on the character sheet. He's about 6'2". He has a thick barrel chest and huge, strong hands. He wears old ragged vestments that have like hand-drawn or handmade holy symbols of various Faerunian gods. He has a book of religious studies that is strapped to his chest. When you see him not interacting with anyone, he is reading this book. He has salt and pepper hair of a prematurely aging man with an unkempt short beard and gray eyes that always seem to be staring up at the stars as they guide his way in both the material and spiritual planes. And he does wield a warhammer.
Alrighty, does he get around with his 300 feet of dark vision?
Well, I know that doesn't sound like much. But as he comes to on the latrine, he grunts, one more from Moander, and then he casts thaumaturgy to make the ground shake a little bit as he finishes his business.
That wakes you up, Kelgrath. When you're done,
Oh my god!
Darius, you'll actually see your footprints leading back to the main tap room. Oh, it is absolutely freezing when you step out here. You didn't want to stay out here any longer than necessary. Everything is covered with several feet of thick snow. It's piled up around the sides of the buildings due to the pitched roofs. Trees are absolutely dusted in the stuff, and you can almost smell the inviting warmth of the food being cooked in the tavern as you head back into the wall and into the tap room. Alright, and last but not least, we have Kelgrath.
Alright, so Calgrath is first going to cast light on like the tip of his arcane focus, just a wand, so he can see. He's just going to maybe like take a brief look in the mirror, concerned that they are once again in another place that is apparently sacrificing people. And unfortunately, like, this place is probably going to be less cool about him trying to interrupt such sacrifice. So he's kind of worried about what he's going to do. He's probably going to meet up with. We established that Ash and Calgrath are traveling together, right? On session 0.
Yeah.
Is that still?
Yeah.
Then he's probably going to. He probably wants to meet up in the tavern to see. Sort of like what the next steps are. Like, he's not really comfortable here, especially in a place of human sacrifice, but he's learned his lesson for now, but he's still, not 100% happy to be here.
Alrighty, you'll find Ash out there in the tap room of the North Look. You can head out the door and around to the east. Alright, as you guys all enter the tap room, you see a motley assortment of patrons, a few sitting at the bar, others surrounding circular wooden tables, mainly humans, but also quite a few dwarves. You notice that most people wear cold weather clothing. You'll barely be able to recognize anyone while they have that clothing on. It's a thick hood, a mask over the face, gloves, boots, lots of wool, and even inside it's still quite cold. There is, however, a couple of blazing hearth, and can't help but notice old Bitey, a knucklehead trout, hanging above the hearth on the mantelpiece. It's a knucklehead trout, a very famous type of trout, a commodity here in Icewind Dale. Most people will fish for knucklehead trout and ply their trade, make their living from the scrimshaw trinkets that they carve from the knucklehead's bone, or sell the fish for meat. So there's quite a few patrons in here. Everything's pretty hustling and bustling. Most people are keeping their conversations to themselves. There's only really one spare table. That's this communal table in the middle of the tap room, and as you guys spill out, you can see that quite a few people want to talk to you guys. I'll just reiterate the situation here in Icewind Dale. I read this out on session 0, but I'll read it out again just to reiterate it. Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous. This land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Auril, the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off in caravans and coming from the south and travel between settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with the sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers, such as yourselves, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle, and, in the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. It's just another gruesome day in 10 Towns. Howling wind, bitter cold, foul tempered, and snowdrifts big enough to bury a herd of moose. But today, this morning, the local tavern is abuzz with news about a series of recent killings. Before the murders, the only question on everyone's mind was, will summer ever return to Icewind Dale? Now the question is, will I be the killer's next victim? Nothing breeds fear and paranoia like a murderer with no face. 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed in the past month. A halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in Brin Shander. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through the heart. What's the connection? The drunken lot huddled in the tavern offers no credible ideas. But sitting apart from them is an elderly shield dwarf with a nasty scar across her nose. It looks like she has something worth knowing. She's been smoking her pipe and eyeing you guys ever since you've walked in.
So just to establish, did you say on session 0 is when we all met?
Yeah, you guys had met briefly the night before. Some of you, have known each other for longer than others, but you've all established that you're adventurers at the very least, and perhaps you even talked about joining up together. There's nothing too compelling that has actually caused you guys to form a party yet. As you guys just kind of settle in, you guys hear the loud voice of Scramsax, the proprietor of this tavern, a wily man with a gruff look on his face. And he's going around, this is him here. He's going around yelling in people's faces, "Ticket! Ticket! Ticket!" And he has a bunch of ticket stubs in his hands, just little bits of vellum that he's holding out. People are just taking them, not really responding. "Ticket! Ticket! Ticket!" And they're taking the ticket. He approaches you, Kelgrath. "Ticket!" he says, and he holds out he's got like a little sack, and it's got a heap of these like ticket stubs in it. "Ticket!"
Well, All right. Grab one, I guess.
All right. Oh, I didn't do the thingy properly. He's going to give you a ticket. All right. When you get this ticket, you guys need to write this down. This is a Brin Shander raffle ticket, and he's got about 200 in there. Let's try that again. Ticket! 32 is your ticket number, Kelgrath. He hands one to some other folk. He looks up in your face, Varys. You gonna pay for them rooms last night?
You got my tab, don't you? I've been here long enough. You know I'm good for it. Give me my damn ticket.
Ha!
You must fortune me again.
And you know I'm good enough. If you don't pay it, what's going to happen with me swords and cutting people?
I chuckle heartedly.
Just finish fixing one of the walls, and I can still throw you out of it. Wall and all. Ticket! He gives you one, Varys. Or you grab one. And
yep,
you're 35. Keeps on going around. Ticket! Yells in your face, Jareth. You can smell the ale on his breath. You can see the tobacco stains on his beard and mustache. Ticket!
And Jareth grins at him dopily and says, "Tickets are my favorite," and grabs one.
Ha! He smirks and gives you a ticket. 79 is your ticket number. Ticket! Gives one to a dwarf. Ticket! He yells in your face, Dendovich.
Dendovich hears Jareth's voice, and he kind of he's been looking down the whole time. He kind of peeks over. It's like, I think I recognize that voice. And kind of turns around, just keeping his head down, just kind of slowly reaches up and sort of feels out in the distance for the bowl of tickets or whatever, and kind of slowly grabs one.
Ticket! It's got the number 40 on it. Ticket. Ticket. He approaches you, Ash. Looks you up and down. You're not from around these parts, are you?
No.
Don't go wandering too far. They say that if you don't take a ticket, then you're gonna get killed by the murderer.
We can't have that, so take a ticket, I guess, sir.
124 is your ticket number, Ash. Ticket! 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 He shoves this little sack in your face, Winston. Take a ticket!
Winston will reach in and take a ticket.
And your ticket number is 43. Ticket! 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 Is that my saucepan? He looks at the pot on your head, Mimi.
Oh, I don't believe so. And kind of tap the saucepan and pull it off and look at it.
What's going on your tab?
Oh, how much is my tab up to now?
Ah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Ticket!
He'll pull out a ticket.
You can pay later. And you get ticket number 18. He goes around, and there is one woman that does not receive a ticket. It's the town speaker, Speaker Duvessa, Shane. But everyone else in the tap room gets one and then scram sacks. He does those rounds while other things are going on and eventually returns to behind the bar. Alright, so you've got Hlyn eyeing you guys. You can tell that she's got something for you. You know that there's this murderer abound. She might have some information about that. You're also welcome to just talk to people and perhaps see what rumors are going around or do whatever else you guys like.
Varys nods at Jiris and kind of nudges him towards Speaker Duvessa and says, Jiris, we should find out if there's any more information from the speaker over there. She would know.
Finding out more information is my favorite.
Yes, good boy. Follow me.
Iris immediately breaks off and goes over to Dendovich instead. Hey, Dendovich, good morning. You look hungover. Are you hungover? I feel great. I slept great. Hey, that lady over there is looking at you.
Damn it, boy. How do you know my name?
Jiris just immediately walks away from you, walks over to the table where everybody else is. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing this morning?
Swear I know that guy from somewhere.
Hello, are you a little young to be in a tavern or something? You seem excited. Or excitable.
Yeah, being in the tavern's my favorite.
Oh, I can see you have a lot of favorite things. It's good to be happy.
That lady over there keeps looking at you guys.
Yeah, Winston's going to edge over and talk to this dwarf that's looking at us all.
Mimi's gonna slowly head that way too.
Hello. I couldn't help but notice looking at you. Sorry, you looking at me. My name's Winston.
Winston, is it?
It is.
So you're
There's a
an
lot of
adventurer.
I am. There's a lot of talk going on around this tavern about a murderer.
Aye.
And I suspect you might have an idea about something to do with it. And the reason I know this is because you're definitely not taking part in all these inane theories that are flying around.
Something to do with it? What's your tongue, boy? You're accusing me.
No, I just think you have the air of someone who knows something.
No doubt, at least 15 times your age, boy, and I know much. Are you with these other adventurers here?
You could say we have a loose association.
Well, you may want to tighten that up a little notch there, boyo. Because this is a cold-hearted killer on the loose. And he'll sneak up on you and cut your throat, leave you out for the winter wolves, before you know the back of a yeti's arse.
That is what the stories say. Do you know about it?
I know a lot. In fact, she gives you a smug look, kicks her stubby feet up on the table, leans back in her chair. I know who the murderer is. I mean, I could put him down myself, but I'm retired.
Interesting. I assume you have evidence to this effect?
Perhaps I do, but you're not much there, boy. You need some meat on the bones. I'm not sure you're worth my time.
I mean, it might be true that I'm not, but what do you have to lose?
I have to lose. Nothing! However, you've got your life to lose if you think you can chase this murderer by yourself. Or perhaps there's some more brave adventurers among you all, brave enough to brave the cold of Oral and bring this murderer to justice.
I'm assuming she's yelling that at that point,
Oh
right?
yeah, she screams at her across the tap room, and no one really responds to that in terms of the patrons here.
I'm just going to look over and like raise an eyebrow. I got her. Did you get her all excited? Just a quick eyebrow, and then just like, yeah.
Oh, come on then, you daft bunch. Gather round. If you've got the balls for it. Or if you don't have balls, then you've got... not balls. Come on then.
Damn it, Lynn. You know, we've got the balls. Just don't have the damn ale to listen to your stories.
Suit yourself. Well, for those of you brave enough, pull up a chair and take a little listen. The killer is Sefik Calthro. He works for a small traveling merchant company called Torgs. It's owned and operated by a shady dwarf named Torgr Icewind. In other words, Sefik gets around. He's charming, makes friends easily. He's also Torg's bodyguard, so I'm guessing he's good with a blade. His victims come from the only 3 towns that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on nights of the new moon. This is what passes for civilized behavior in Icewind Dale. And maybe the victims found a way to keep their names out of the drawings, and Sefik found out they were cheating. So he killed them! Maybe, just maybe, Sefik is doing the Frostmaiden's work. When Helene says that, this dwarf here, he looks out the window and he looks absolutely terrified. He's like covered in snow and he's all bundled up. You got something to say, boy? He looks at you, Kelgrath.
No. What made you think I did?
You're sitting awfully far away. Is Hlynn's tales giving you a bit of a frostbite?
Yeah, just finishing my drink here. Listen.
Scramsack says, that's going on your tab, that drink!
Yep. I gotcha.
Listen, I followed Torgs for a 10-day as it moved from town to town. Quite the devious little enterprise, but that's not my concern. What struck me is how comfortable Sefik Calthro looked in this weather. I shit you not, I hold no secret from Doomathoin. No coat, no scarf, no gloves. It was like the cold couldn't touch him. Kiss of the Frostmaiden, indeed! And she scowls across the table, mug in hand, spilling some ale onto the wooden table. I'll pay ye 100 gold pieces to apprehend Sefik Calthro, ascertain his guilt, and deal with him, preferably without involving the authorities. And she looks over you all towards the bar where the sheriff is sitting with another associate of his. When the job is done, return to me and collect your money.
Is there any particular reason why they she wouldn't want the authorities involved in this if she's so sure that about the murder?
You don't really know her, so you're not sure what her motivation is.
She's a well-known figure in Brin Shander, or an outsider?
She's she gets around. She is a veteran of the Dale.
But she's not associated with Clan Battlehammer?
No, she's a retired adventurer. A bit of a lone wolf.
And did she present any evidence, or like any any type of eyewitness testimony or evidence of why she thinks it's Sefik?
Yeah, just any evidence.
She only has suspicions.
Okay.
How did she even start suspecting this guy anyway?
She believes that he's blessed by the Frostmaiden because he's out in the cold with no clothes on, basically. Or just normal clothes on. And she suspects that the murders are happening from people that are dodging the raffle. So she's just kind of making a connection. But, yeah, there's no evidence there, really. It's just circumstantial.
Okay. And but do we know that these murders were being done on like the new moon, like she was talking about?
Yes. The new moon was 3 days ago, and that's when the murder happened. And it's been happening a few times at the exact same time when there was supposed to be a sacrifice, and the person that was meant to be sacrificed was nowhere to be found, somehow evading the authorities to the matter. So there's your request for that. And yeah, feel free to question Lynn, in character, of any concerns you have as well.
Yeah, Winston's going to make some further inquiries. So, I understand why you'd want a murderer brought to justice. Not being murdered and all is good, but why do you have such a personal stake in this? Are you perhaps deciding that you're going to evade the raffle if your number comes up? Do you just hate the Frostmaiden?
That's not really
all
your
their agents?
business, boy. But it's a murderer. Do you have no moral compass? I'm doing this, really, because I have a heightened sense of moral decency, unlike some others here. And she looks over at the speaker.
May I insight check that when she says that?
Sure. You don't feel like she's lying. You can sense that she has a certain underlying hatred of the sacrifices that happen. You feel like she doesn't like that, so she's directing that hatred towards the authorities, because the town speakers are the ones who unanimously decided that there'll be sacrifices.
Okay.
And you feel like perhaps now she doesn't want any of the glory to go to the authorities. She wants to almost say like the authorities didn't do anything to stop him, and there were some good-hearted adventurers that had to step up to the plate.
All right. Well, I'm going to nod to the rest of the party. It's like she seems sincere, and stopping a murder is stopping a murder, regardless of. Plus, we'll get money out of it. So I don't know. I would like to take this on, but of course I can't do it by myself. So.
Of course. I mean, look, Lynn. I had to be sure. You have to understand. That's why I asked you the hard questions, but bringing a murderer to justice is excellent cause, and the gold is a big bonus. I'll accept the job.
Jira says, I'll help. Helping's my favorite.
I
But
could
one
also
dimension.
help.
Whose grandmother is this?
Oh, my kids live elsewhere in town. If we wanted to find this Sethic person, where would we start?
Lynn shrugs. Well, don't know exactly. He moves around. Could be in any one of the 10 towns, to be honest. Did I be keeping my tabs on him, to tell you the truth?
And you said that he was like the bodyguard of a certain caravan, right?
Yeah, Torgs.
Have I heard of
Traveling
that?
caravan merchant.
Have I heard of
Yeah.
orcs?
We could make a history check. Yeah, you've heard of it. It's a dwarven woman, and she just goes around from town to town selling goods. It's mainly adventuring gear and things like that. From what you've heard, it's a little bit of a illegitimate business. You question the integrity of the business and where she gets her wares.
So when you first were telling us, you said the most recent murder was in Brin Shander, and it was a dwarf. And then before that, it was a human in Targath, and before that was in East Haven, and it was a halfling, correct?
Aye.
I was more asking you as the DM, but
Aye. I'll post those that information for you guys. I'll
okay,
update it on the
all
quest
right,
handout.
because that I'm just gonna point out that's a good way to perhaps track the killer if Lynn here is correct in saying that the killings only happen in the villages that sacrifice at the new moon. And if it is a traveling merchant band that's doing it, it would probably be on their route. So that might be a circular route, and it could very well be that East Haven would be where another murder would take place next. Just my guess. But
if you're waiting
Varys,
for the next murder, boy, you're gonna be waiting a good while. Last new moon was 3 days ago.
right. So the other 7 towns, they do sacrifices as well, just not on the new moon?
Not people, I think.
Yeah, they sacrifice either warmth, so no fire overnight, or food. They leave food out, or they don't eat for the night. Like
Gotcha.
nighttime.
Okay, cool. Okay. Varys asks Lynn, is it Lynn or Hlyn?
Hlyn. Aye.
Alright, Varys says, what makes you so sure that the cold goddess would want anything to do with this Torgar Icevein other than his peculiar last name that seems very cliche for this area?
Very on the nose.
I've got an eye for these things. When you've lived a dozen of your meager human lives, you get to know these things. It's quite obvious. No cold weather gear, out in the cold, bodyguard, and I seen him. Those eyes, as cold as winter. There's something unnatural about him. I know it to be true.
And what if our investigation uncovers that the killer is not this Sefik Caltro? Will you pay us then?
Bring me the killer's head, and ye shall get your reward. That goes for any of ye. First one to bring this murderer to justice shall have me coin.
So you've got a deal.
There's no shaking hands about it. There's nothing formal about this. I've put the word out, and we're under no formal contract or obligation. Good luck finding him. And I hope you do find him soon. At least give us a little bit of respite during these tough and troubled times on this blighted land.
And what exactly did she say about not working with the authorities?
Not to work with the authorities. She doesn't like them because they sacrifice people, and she thinks that's, cruel. Like not something authorities should do. She wants to show them up. Am I right?
Yeah.
Seb?
Yep, she doesn't agree with the authorities. She wants She wants the adventurers to bring him to justice. She doesn't want the authorities to be able to gloat over apprehending this suspect.
Gotcha. But during the investigation, would she be opposed to asking questions of the authorities and just not asking them for help?
Well, I mean, if you go up and speak to the sheriff right now, then she's probably not going to like that, but, you know, she doesn't have any way to know if you're speaking to authorities elsewhere, unless she somehow sees you. But,
right, well,
yeah.
I was going to literally ask the speaker here if there's any news on the murders, and she's all like, don't talk to anyone.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want the authorities involved. And, you know, even proclaiming this, you can tell that, you know, they're not doing anything about it.
Gotcha. Alright, well, I will walk over to the speaker, which I'm guessing I am at least familiar with, and say hello and say, is there any new word in the morning wind?
Alright, Speaker Duvessa Shane. She's usually pretty public. She'll stand out on the speaker's box in town and try and fill the town folk with resolve in troubling times. She's got a very good reputation. She's not only the town speaker for Brin Shander, but the head of the council of speakers. Each town has a speaker. She's a very noble woman, and she has ties to Waterdavian nobles. She smiles at you and says, "Oh, hello there, Varys. Looking for rumors?"
Not quite rumors, just any official news coming in from the towns.
Official news? About what, particularly?
Oh, I don't know, the damn endless cold and all these murders.
What we should do is continue our sacrifices. We must appease Oral. There's seemingly no way to stop it. If I had that answer, I can assure you, we wouldn't all be huddled inside this foul-smelling tavern to eat our porridge.
Varys takes a deep sniff. How does it smell in here?
It does not smell. Actually, make a perception check. Let's see how much you inhale. Oh, you're smelling all the smells. It smells like the windows have not been open for the longest time. It's the smell of all these different bodies huddled in a confined space, mixed with this guy's cooking.
I say, as I do my deep sniff, my nose wrinkles at the sensation of the stench, and I say, "Damn Northerners never did know how to bathe correctly.
Man.
It's frozen over now."
Feel like that was a skill check you were not happy to pass.
No, not really. I should have not used the neti pot this morning.
The speaker turns to you. Actually, I did hear something in terms of official business. Varies. It's about Caer Dinerval. No one has seen the town speaker for a long time. They didn't show up to the council meeting. Locals say that Speaker Crannock has fallen ill, but from what I've heard, there's been some sinister figures that have been entering and leaving the castle at odd hours.
Castle?
So yeah, Caer Dinerval is like a castle town. Caer is in castle. It's another name for like a castle. It's built the village is built around this little castle. So yeah, she's got a little bit of information about Caer Dinerval for you there. The speaker's missing.
Alright, I tell her if I'm next time I head that way that I'll maybe I'll look into it a bit.
Yes, that might do you some justice if you're trying to earn a reputation here in Icewind Dale. was an esteemed adventurer.
Not much justice to be found in these parts, especially with these sacrifices you've been doing, as I seem very displeased.
They are essential. We're doing it out of necessity. We must not anger Oral any further. She has already separated us. She will do much worse if we do not appease her. We do not wish to feel her wrath.
Yeah, I nod in agreement to that and say, fair enough.
I would like to hobble up to these groups of people kind of over in the tables, and just assuming none of them know the answer, she's gonna like try and address each one of them. But she's gonna be asking if anybody has seen Torg's caravan or mercantile thingy lately.
This
And
guy,
if they saw where it goes.
he like falls off his seat and he like screams when you approach him from behind. Ah! Dragons! Dragons! They're here! Ah! He falls off his seat and he crawls under the table and he places his hands over his head. Ah! 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 And one of the other doors kick him.
Maybe reaches up and kind of like pats the air next to her shoulder. Oh, don't worry. Sir Waldo means no harm. He's just a tiny dragon.
Storm looks up at you.
That was good.
There's no dragon. He gets back up onto his seat. Oh. He looks over nervously at the windows. I thought one was just coming through the window to gobble us up. You take a look at these folk. They're three stocky figures, bundled in cold weather garb. They've got snowshoes slung over their backs. There's ice picks leaning against the wall, and they all have thick beards, and they're actually covered in snow. And this one, he actually holds up his gloved hand, and he says, "Don't mind Stone. He's got a terrible fear of white dragons. Long story. Name's Hruna. You say you're looking for dogs. Didn't I say I seen them? We're not from these parts. We hail from the Dwarven Valley, miss. We was just stopping in here to drown our sorrows. This is me friend Corex. You got a saucepan on your head."
Oh, yes. I would recommend that you would also put a pan on your head. It's good protection, you see. You said you haven't seen Torg? Have you heard anything about these murders?
He shakes his head. Not really one for these 10 towns, to tell you the truth. Just here passing by on trade. And, Stone, you scared this young lady. Come on, then. I'm sorry, Luna. I'm so scared, especially what had happened lately. And this guy is just like staring in silence. He's not saying anything. And Haruna then looks at you, Mimi. Say, I heard you there talking to that lass there, Lynn, about some murder. Ye adventurers for hire, are you?
I could use some more coin, I guess. We're kind of for hire. I can't speak for everyone.
Well, you surely, that's what you do, lass. Speak for them. I mean, no offense, but surely you're not an adventurer yourself.
I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. I'll have you know I've gone on many adventures.
Apologies, miss. Years of smoking is done in me lungs. That's a good one. How about you get your pals over here and take a seat and we'll tell you what's happened.
She'll turn around and she'll kind of wave at just the general tavern at this point because everybody's kind of spread out.
There might be some other people that need some work done here.
She's like, yeah, she's looking over you at everyone else, Mimi, like he's looking for like an adventurer.
She
We're hearing the conversation that she kind of, I believe, had with Helen along with Winston. All kind of have perked up and head over there.
Oh, now we're talking. Surely, this is not what Moradin has gifted me today. An old lady and a child. He looked capable. Yes, he killed that wolf himself, boy. Points to you, Ash.
With my brother's help.
Ah, bless ye. We only just new to town. Well, we not new, but we didn't spend much time here. Usually we stop by Black Iron Blades and then head on back to the Dwarven Vale. We're survivors. Listen, we were attacked. We make up a group of dwarves that were tasked delivering a sled of iron ingots to Brin Shander. And on the way here, a Yeti surprised us and killed a member of our group. The rest of us fled as the Yeti took Orbak limb from limb. We need someone to go back and get the sled for us. As payment, we offer you each a gemstone worth 50 gold pieces. The friendship of the dwarves of Icewind Dale can also be a boon in these harsh times. You'll need snowshoes, though, to make that trip in good time if you're willing. Ugh.
Oh, I'm sure that we could go out and try and reason with it to get your ingots back.
He just shakes his head. Are you not all there, missy? Are you a flagon of ale short of a keg? Reason with it. It's a Yeti! It ripped Orbak's legs! Perhaps you're not the right pick for this job, missy. How can I be sending an old lady to her death out there in this frozen winter?
She looks a little bit indignant at that.
Well, excuse me, sir, but I believe you called me young earlier, and I'll have you know that this type of thing is very much within my skill set.
I've seen a lot of things in my time, and far be it for me to doubt you, lass.
How about this? If I prove you wrong, and I bring back your ingots, you will give us each 2 gems instead of 1.
Make a persuasion check, Mimi.
I'm not very good at this.
We didn't have such a sum to give, lass, I'm afraid. However, we know the folks there at Black Iron Blades, and perhaps we could squeeze in a nice little discount for you. Top quality goods, made with ore mined from the hands of Clan Battlehammer.
She'll nod a little bit. That would work, and I would expect an apology from you.
Oh, sorry, miss. It's been a long day. Frostbite took 3 of me fingers in me left ear. I may have misheard you at first, and I apologize.
I will see you again once we have your ingots. Where actually is this Yeti about?
You got a map of Icewind Dale?
Do I have a map?
Yes. Well, that's a
Okay.
good map. Well, look at that quality.
Yeah, way better than some other black and white map.
He points at Brin Shander. And you do notice when he clenches his fist with the glove, he only has a pointer finger and a thumb. The rest of the fingers don't move. Kelvin's can. And he licks his finger and he whacks it across the map. About halfway between Kelvin's can and here. 7 miles across the tundra. That's where the bastard took him.
Make sure it's marked on the map clearly.
You guys can all see that name tag, right? Foaming Mugs?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the quest. And it was going to be a 15% discount at Black Iron Bades, but he'll bump that up to it's going to be a 10%. He's going to be bumped up to a 15% because he'll put in a good word for you guys if you manage to retrieve the bars.
How good is that?
Satisfied with
How
that.
long is that discount for?
For however long you need it.
All right, cool.
About there. Now, you may need some sled dogs or something. We had some and Yeti got them. Them ingots weigh quite a sum, but if there's enough of you, you could feasibly pull it across the tundra. It should still be out there though, the ingots on the sled.
We'll get to that eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, you look like you're much sought after in these towns. Adventurers are found far and few between. Ye should make our job a priority. Having the respect of Clan Battlehammer, it will go a long way in these parts. You don't need to worry about this Missy over there and her murders. You help out the dwarves of the Dwarven Valley first, Missy.
Are you saying that if we solve the murders, that we won't be able to get your ingots?
All I'm saying is, don't worry about a few murders here and there. Get those ingots back. That's more important.
Spoken like a true dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a few humans.
One was a dwarf.
Okay.
He chooses to think that it's just humans. He didn't really hear too much. One of his ears is missing. Maybe it's selective hearing.
That's fair. Good roleplay reason.
So, you notice this woman seems to be poring over a bunch of notes as well. And she's been looking up at you guys from time to time. You can just tell that she's waiting for someone to approach her, like she's got something to say.
Yeah, I'll head over. Hello, miss. Seems to be you're looking for some help.
She's over here.
Oh.
Excuse
me?
This is Sirac of Suzale. Artisimba's son.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, she's just like a bundled up figure. I mean, you couldn't even tell really if it was a man, woman, dwarf, or elf. And she says through her mask, "Well, Matt, you seem like you're looking for work, you lot. What trouble?"
Mostly work, but some trouble. What can we do for you?
Danica Greystill. Pleased to meet you. I'm a scholar.
Oh.
What is your name?
Well, my name's Kelgrath. And currently of the Wolf Tribe. What can we do for you?
Oh.
Well, at least what can I and my friends do for you?
Wolf Tribe? You mean like a barbarian?
I mean, we're not the ones that I lower my voice at this. We're not the ones sacrificing people, so some would call. I wouldn't use barbarian lightly if I would.
Oh well,
as far as barbarism goes.
I need a civilized folk, someone who can read at least, for the job I'm looking for.
Well, you're lucky. I can read. At this point, I'm sort of looking at her with gimlet eyes. It's only the fact that I've already started talking to you is like that I haven't just like F you racist.
Oh, I'm surprised. So, do you know that it's been extra cold? You do feel the cold, right? I'm not sure if the Reghead barbarians are really affected by this as much as us. I guess we're 10-towners? Is that what we're called around here?
I used the word moron, but okay.
Oh. That
Yes.
must be a local saying. I'm not really from around these parts.
I can tell. But yes, we do feel the cold.
Oh.
We are still humans.
So you want to stop it then?
Yes, definitely.
Well, I think I've come up with a way to do that. Have you ever heard of a Chwinger?
Raymond, yes. Kelgrath, definitely not. No, I have not.
It's a little elemental
what are these?
spirit. They might be the key to improving Icewind Dale's climate. Some of them are known to inhabit the 10 towns. They have the ability to alter their natural surroundings. I want one. I want to study one up close. Do you think you would be able to hunt for one?
Well, if these things, we can definitely try. But if these things are part of the natural order, then what are your plans on these things? I'm not going to just have you experiment and possibly kill these things.
Oh, I'm not going to kill one. No. Quite the opposite. I want to try and befriend one, so it'll tell me its secrets. And perhaps I've talked to the wrong person. I couldn't possibly send someone after one that would harm the Chwingers. I know how you barbarians are like.
How true is that? Well, I mean, clearly I won't be able to find out, but that was sort of what.
See if she's like lying to you about not hurting the Chwinger, and you're not sure if she's lying or not. Especially, it's hard to actually see her facial expressions because literally you're just talking to a set of eyes.
Listen. And what payment are you willing to provide for this service?
Well, I've saved quite a lot of funds for this expedition. I didn't come all the way here without a plan to make payment for someone to try and capture one of these twinkers. I have 25 gold pieces.
25? That seems like not a lot at all. Where are you from again?
Wait. Look, I've been crafting this magic item. I've worked on it for a very long time. It's a specialist item just for this mission. It's called a Lantern of Tracking. It helps to
Lantern of
locate...
what? Okay.
It helps to locate elementals. You see, what you do is you light it. I'm sure you know how to make a fire. And it will turn green if there is an elemental within 300 feet. So you simply light it, and if you see the green flame, you know there's a Chwinga nearby. I'll let you keep the lantern as well. And you can borrow it to look for the Chwinga.
Very well. I'll bring it up to the rest of my companions and see if they'll be willing. Thank you. But I don't see if it's as easy as you say, and you do promise to not hurt the Chwinga, then I don't see why we couldn't get one.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm so excited. I'll be able to update my research. I'm going to draw up a new draft. All the questions I'm going to ask it. Soon, this winter will end. I just know it. I'll make best friends with the Chwinga, and the Chwinga will tell me the secret to changing the natural environment, so we're no longer stuck in the cold. Oh, goody. Well, if you want to do this, then you come back to me, and I'll give you the lantern, and you can get set up, and you'll be ready to go. I'll just be staying at this tavern. Now that I know I don't need to go any further, well, I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm just so excited.
Alright. And then I'll just head back to... where is the rest of the party? I'll just head back to this big table where a lot of us are sitting. And I'm just waiting for everybody else to see if they find any more work.
Seb, from kind of where I was and where Kelgoth was having the conversation, would I have been able to overhear any of it, or not really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll mention it to the rest of the people at the table. At this point, I think they're trustworthy enough to help out if necessary. So basically, yeah. Find the Chwinga, I guess. Find a nature spirit in Brin Shander and bring it to them. And I'll also mention to the party that it looks like this person is definitely from out of town, so...
I'll kind of give her...
even more out of...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just more she seems definitely even more out of town than most folk. That she's from the south and doesn't really seem to understand Icewind Dale.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't. I'll kind of give her a look up and down with a nod and kind of the back and forth I heard about the barbarians. I'll note for later.
Yeah, it's she's lucky I'm even-tempered. Other barbarians would have started killing her for the insult.
Yeah, luckily this is a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Scramsax comes around. Are you all drinking?
Indivich holds up his empty mug.
He'll snatch it. Drink! Anyone? You're all drink. You're sitting here drinking. Drinks are all. Put on your tab. Goes over and taps you all a very thick ale. It's got a bit of a reddish tinge to it, with almost like a pinkish foam on the top of it, and gives you all a mug, and write something down behind the bar, most likely adding it to your tab.
Jiris pushes his mug down to Dendovich and says, "Can I have some milk?"
Milk's your favorite thing?
Milk's my favorite.
I don't know about that around here, boy. But I ain't gonna turn down your ale. He just grabs both of them, one in each hand, and kind of like takes turns alternating drinking from one and then the next, and then one and the next.
Wait a second. What's your age, boy? Are you not 14 yet?
I'm this many, and I hold up both of my hands, and then do it twice.
You're old enough to be drinking. Put some hair on that chest of yours.
I want some milk.
We don't have milk here, boy. We have ale, meat chunk, and cheese hunk. I'll get you a cheese hunk. I'll add it onto your bill.
Cheese hunks are my favorite.
Best cheese hunks in Icewind Dale.
Alright. It's only like 4 copper for a mug of ale, but he's definitely keeping a little bit of a tab for you guys. You've drunk, whether you've been wanting to or not. He's poured you up two mugs of ale so far, each.
Yeah, Kelgrath will like nurse his ale so that like enough that they can see he's drinking it, but not enough to finish it off quickly.
So, you said Sirik of Suzail, the guy down there at the bar, he was the one that announced yesterday about the murders, or
No,
something else?
he's not really related to any of that. He's actually just the local priest of Torm. Yeah, if you want some cleric services, he's very friendly and helpful. He once defended Icewind Dale from a frost giant attack, and he's just drinking by himself at the bar, having a little sip of ale.
Jiris waves at him and yells, "Good morning, Brother Sirak!"
Oh,
Clerics of Torm are your favorite thing?
They let me sleep in the big fancy building sometimes.
hello there, Jiris. Keeping yourself very busy today, I see.
I'm helping.
That is very good. You're all doing a noble deed, willing to help the people of Icewind Dale. May you feel the blessings of Torm on this day, and if you're ever in need of some healing services, you can find me in the Temple of the Triad.
Jiris just smiles stupidly, turns around, looks at everybody at the table, says, "He's real nice."
Catch!
Dendovich kind of scoffs and goes, Temple of the Triad. You guys ever notice that old tear there can see without any eyes? Ever wonder why that is? Probably an excuse so he can ignore all the shit that people do in his name. Oh, didn't see it. Must have been blind. Meanwhile, they scream justice left and right. He kicks back harder on his mug of ale.
Cheated much there, Dendovich?
Huh? You paying in jade? Worth a few gold pieces. I'll take that.
God damn it. Where is this temple that he mentioned?
It's sort of near the south gate. It's a temple of Torm, Tyr, and Helm. Temple of the Triad.
What was it again?
Torm,
Triad?
Tyr, and Helm. Yeah. Those 3 gods. Kind of pretty close knit.
Are any of the other people that we haven't spoken to yet, like, eyeballing us or anything?
Not really. everyone's just starting to leave. Actually, most people have left. You see people just coming down here for a bowl of porridge and then leaving. Sirac leaves. Sheriff leaves.
So, Seb, would we happen to know like anywhere where we could get like? Because apparently, like we're chasing after a caravan as far as that murder is concerned, right? So, how would the caravan advertise where they're gonna be, basically?
They don't. They just
They don't.
they'll be out. They'll be out there in the open. You know, like if they're in Brin Shander, they'll probably be set up in the town square. Yeah, these towns have like literally a less than 100 people population. If they're in town, you'll know it. Like they are tiny, tiny little settlements.
And we don't know that they're not in town, right?
No, they're not in Brin Shander. Well, at least you don't think they are. You haven't gone down to the market, so they could be. But you wouldn't imagine that they would be in town. Lynn probably would have told you that. She seems to be pretty perceptive about those things.
Do we know if they're in town on the night of the murder in Brin Shander 3 days ago? Did Lynn know?
She doesn't seem to think that they were in town on the night of the murder.
Alright.
But you can get to any of the other towns within a few hours, mostly.
Right.
Especially if you've got sled dogs, you could go from one town to the other in an hour.
Should we go out and see if this caravan is in the town square?
Sounds like a good idea to me, Grandma Mimi. We should listen to her, guys. She's the smartest person I know.
Is Jiris actually like wearing cold weather clothing at the moment, or is he like just?
He's just running around naked. So that's how he rolls. Nah, he's wearing whatever we're supposed to be wearing here.
Okay. Cold weather clothing.
And he's dead.
Fur coat, wool clothing, fur-lined hat, hood, goggles, leather boots, gloves. Speaking of the town square, you guys might want to get some, as the dwarves suggested, some equipment for snowshoes. Maybe some crampons.
Crampons?
Yeah, they're for navigating ice. Spike boots, the spikes that you put on your boots.
Gotcha.
Metal plate with spikes. Strap it onto the sole of your boot. And if you're on ice, it's going to help you out. Alright, if you guys are ready to go, you can exits over here. You guys can move your tokens over there and I'll collect your tokens and we can...
Well, what are we what's the plan, guys? We're just gonna check the square for now and then decide what we're gonna go after. It looks like we got 4 quests?
Yep. Sounds like a good idea. Like also might be like depending on which quest we get, also might need to buy stuff because I think a few of those quests will end up us having to leave Brin Shander.
Yeah, probably all of them, right? So did we get the Lantern of Tracking from the lady yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We haven't accepted it yet, so we don't have it yet. The lantern one, isn't that just in Brin Shander, or is that like everywhere, like outside?
Anywhere. It's somewhere.
Anywhere.
It's somewhere where a Twinger will be. She says that they are known to inhabit the areas around the 10 towns, so could be one in Brin Shander, but
so
might not be. Again, you feel like she would have probably lit the lantern and, you wouldn't be hiring someone to look for a Twinger if there was one nearby. So you can guess that there's probably none around the town.
Fair enough.
And Lynn just smirks at you. You believe that? Little elemental spirits living among us? Korox dismisses that notion. He hasn't said anything, he's just been staring most of the time. Don't listen to her. I've seen one. Tiny figure riding a fox through town. I can't remember when or where the sighting was, though. One of these towns. They're all the same to me.
Mimi would be for picking up that quest if we needed to pick up the lantern. Especially if it involves additional research.
Oh, she says that it's going to be the key to stopping this never-ending winter in the Tent Town.
I would be down for pursuing that, at least trying to. That seems kind of like what we're all doing here to some extent.
Yeah, I'll just point out that of all of the things that we learned today, Varys is definitely the most intrigued by the nature spirits idea, and he seems to have strong faith in the idea that it could possibly cure the issue of the never-ending winter.
Yeah, I mean, Calgrath would also be most interested in the nature spirit stuff, just because it's actually trying to solve the problem that he cares about, which is ending this stupid eternal winter. So, like, he's not really sure that this like Outlander knows what she's talking about, but it's the best lead he has at the moment.
Mimi's interested in it more for researchy sake, but I think her main priority right now would be solving the murders, potentially, if we could, since that involves people getting hurt.
That's true. Random people getting killed is not necessarily a good thing. That I'd be willing to help stop that. I don't have a whole lot of material wealth to leave right now, though I could make something work, I'm sure.
All of a sudden, the fish starts singing randomly. Old Bitey starts flapping around on the wooden board, and it begins singing.
Whoa! Does that do that often?
Where's the Old Bitey? Where's the handout for that? Here we go. Old Bitey. There's a place I like to go, further up the river's flow. Where it is I do not know, must be under all that snow. And then it stops.
Damn it.
Hey, you wanna touch the fish? I'll put it on your tab, Scramsack says. Anyone wanna touch the fish? Free fish pattern for a price.
I want to touch the fish.
If there's a price, then it's not free.
I'll put it on your tab. Free for now.
Can I feed him some of my cheese? He looks hungry.
Sure. It'll cost you. I'll put it on your tab.
Jirus stuffs his cheese in the fish's mouth.
As you go to stuff your cheese, it like tries to snap and bite your hand. Tries to take a bite out of you.
I yell at Scramsex. I don't think he likes your cheese.
It snaps its hand, but it misses you. That doesn't matter. You're already on your tab.
Oh, bitey.
Jirus looks at the fish and goes, I don't like you. You're not my favorite, and walks away.
It's taken a massive bite out of your cheese hunk as well. And then the cheese kind of just must go inside the fish. You're leaving? Scramsax says, and he draws a longsword and he taps it on the bar. Are we doing this then, are we?
Is the
Time to pay! He points his finger on the bar.
Are we supposed to always pay the tab before we leave?
Oh.
Is that how that works here? Did we see anyone else pay the tab before they left?
Yeah, it's like
No.
there's a whole ton of people who
They didn't pay their tab. They paid as they were purchasing the drinks and goods and rooms. They know better
okay.
than to let Scramsax start a tab for them. Alright, here's your tab. And 10% extra for trying to leave. Without paying. And he hands you guys a collective tab. It's, here. The rooms are 35 silver. The ale is 56 copper. The cheese hunk was 1 silver. Patting the fish was 1 silver. That's a total of 37 silver. Well, plus 10%. So 40 silver and... where are we? 40 silver and 3 copper. Plus 56 copper. So 43 silver and 59 copper.
Maybe he's gonna reach into a bag on her belt and just start slowly counting coins. Like, placing them on the bar one at a time.
Huh? Huh? Keep going. Keep going. He's tapping his longsword on the bar. I still know how to use this blade, you know.
Okay,
If
so
you don't have enough, you can pay later if you want. Don't worry about it. I'll hold your bill.
I have enough this year. One moment.
Dendovich, you know,
Yeah.
if you like accept that deal, it'll be something like 2 gold pieces if you try to pay later. It'll inflate it incredibly.
I will eventually pay the entire thing.
Okay.
So,
I'm guessing you give him a single gold.
technically I have to do
yeah,
that, yes.
like
But canonically, I would like to count out each
It gives
piece
you-
individually, like
Oh,
in
okay.
copper or some crap.
Okay. And he gives you the change. So it's 56 silver pieces and 41 copper pieces.
is that for the entire party or the?
That's the
just-
entire party.
Okay. So how much is that per person, basically?
I don't know. I just took the whole thing out of my gold piece cost.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like,
Thanks.
The rooms are like 5 silver a night, and the drinks were like 4 copper pieces. Go on, then.
I say a blessing of Salune towards Mimi in appreciation.
Yeah, thank you. It's most kind of you.
Can we make sure we get the lantern from
Oh,
the
yeah.
scout?
Yes.
You know?
Danica, she looks very excited when you come up to her. Oh, you want the lantern? Does that mean you're going to accept the quest?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm most intrigued by a new creature I've not heard of before.
Alright, I'll give it to you then, because you look like you have soft, gentle hands. And
She's also
less
got a bunch
likely
of
to break.
parchments.
So there you go. And I'll just be waiting here. I'll stay here until you've returned. You're not going to be more than like a 10-day, are you? I've been putting my room on the tab and, well, I'm worried about if I'm going to have enough to pay him.
Well, I'm not sure, but here you go. That should cover a room.
And I'll hand her a gold piece.
Oh, for me? Well, I don't know. I don't think you should be paying me. I'm paying you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay, I'll take it. And then she takes it after all that.
I expect an extra gold piece back when we come to collect our reward.
Oh. Sure.
Pay off that tab, though. I don't want to run a tab here.
Yes, I think I've come to learn that. Well, there's your lantern. Well, my lantern, but yours if you complete the quest. Mine if you don't. And I'll be waiting here. Good luck, and remember, don't hurt the Twinker. I want to befriend it.
Yes. All right, come on. Let's go earn that money I spent back.
Alright, when you guys step out of the tavern, there's a little mud room, and it's just there's snow blown in it, and then it's just pitch black outside. It's like about 9 a.m. It's absolutely pitch black. You guys can exit and make your way around the town. You can nibble
Everybody
the rest
grab
of
your jackets.
I'm like,
Juris speaks Dwarvish and yells, "Bye-bye, dwarves!"
Rallyo! They say. Raise a mug. Okay. You guys exit the tavern, and you're out in the streets of Brin Shander. You're not going to find anyone really outside, unless it's really absolutely necessary. So there's not really many people walking around the streets. Most of the buildings are actually single story. They all have steeply pitched roofs to fend off the snow. The ground is covered in snow. Everything is frozen. Window panes are frozen, and there's smoke coming out of every single house here, basically. And in the middle of the town, there is the market square, and they have barrels, flaming barrels, around everywhere, just to try and keep in the warmth. But even as you step outside, a bitter cold wind cuts through you, and if you stay out here for an extended amount of time, then you're probably going to have a bad day, unless you're near a fire or something. Those of you with cold resistance, which I don't think anyone has actually. No one has that, so if you had, if you're more acclimated, you could survive a bit longer out here. But your cold weather clothing's enough to fend off the cold for now. So, where would you guys like to go?
So first off, my Eyes of Night ability. By default, I'm just sharing that with Juris. I guess it only lasts for 1 hour. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's like a 1 hour thing, and then...
Yeah, I thought that was an always thing. Okay, well, I'll just save that then when we need it.
But I think you can share it with like the whole party as well. For like an hour. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, creatures you can see within 10. Oh, I thought it was only one other person. Alright, I guess I'm getting that confused with the Vigilant Blessing. So we're gonna light the lantern right away, right? How much oil did she give us for it?
It's just got enough oil to burn for 4 hours. It's full. You can light it, check, and then put it out quickly.
Looks like it says 6 hours for 1 pint.
6 hours. It's an even bigger lantern. So yeah, more than enough time than what you need it for.
Gotcha. But the dwarf said he saw supposedly that spirit running through town on the back of a fox, so it could possibly be inside the town.
Yeah, he could have been talking about something that he's seen 200 years ago as well, though. Keep in mind. He is a dwarf.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He said he didn't remember which town it was, too.
Yeah, he didn't remember which town it was or whereabouts exactly. He just remember seeing it. And it could also have been imagining it. But you can light the lantern. That's going to give you a radius of 300 feet, which is going to go.
Who's carrying the lantern?
I am. I'll light it real quick.
Yeah. So you've got 300-foot area. It's not glowing green. There's no elementals within the vicinity.
Well, I'll snuff it out, seeing it's not green.
Well, if we're gonna be walking, pretty far through the town, it might be worth keeping on, right? That was my main idea.
Wanted, I could- okay.
I'll light it back up again.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Alright,
just
then we'll head towards the middle.
just whale oil. Most of the towns light their fires with whale oil. It's a commodity here. And alright, you guys make your way through the town to the market square. It's pretty sparse. Usually it would be bustling with merchants, vagrants, and the residents of Brin Shander. But there's a few stalls here and a few stalls there, and a lot of fire around the place to keep people warm. And in this market, you can basically buy anything from these handouts. Adventuring gear. If you want like armor and weapons, you go to Black Iron Blades, but that's a part of the market basically. Armor, weapons. They have a winter shop. You can buy cold weather clothing, crampons, snowshoes, and you can get some mounts. You might be able to pick up some sled dogs, a sled. There might be an occasional axe beak for sale as well. They're pretty popular up here in the frozen north. And anything from these handouts can be procured here, and possibly common magic items as well. If you can get it anywhere, it's going to be in Brin Shander. And if you want to go to the temple, like the Temple of Triads down here, there's also the House of the Morning Lord. There's other smaller temples dotted all over Brin Shander as well. You can get spellcasting services. There's also some apothecary and libraries where wizards could do some arcane magic too. Got all those handouts with all that information.
I'd like to get crampons and snowshoes if possible.
Yeah, picking up some winter supplies would be prudent.
So what exactly does that do? That just makes it so we can just walk in the frozen waste, or does it make us like bypass rough terrain, or what?
Snowshoes, they reduce the likelihood of you getting stuck in deep snow, and it would negate difficult terrain by moving over snow. Most of the time, depends on how deep the snow is.
Would it be advisable to wear both crampons and snowshoes? Because don't they both go on defeat?
No, snowshoes for snows, crampons for ice. So crampons, they are a metal plate with spikes that's strapped onto the sole of the boot, and you can't fall prone while moving across slippery ice. And dog sleds, which probably can't afford at the moment, but sled costs 20 gold and has a room on the back for one driver. The dog costs 50 gold pieces and can pull 360 pounds. Every 1 hour that they go, they have to take a rest, or you can push them. And you can actually have one driver and you can have a passenger. You can do 2 people on one sled. The more dogs you have, the quicker you can go, or the longer you can go.
So really, like for us, we would basically need 4 sleds and 4 dogs, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more than 4 dogs.
Axe beaks. They have splayed toes that allows them to run across the snow. They can carry as much weight as a mule. They're domesticated and they can be purchased for 50 gold pieces. And also, you can buy a rowboat. If anyone wants to go fishing out on the Mare de Walden or the Lac d'Anishir for a knucklehead trout, it's a bit of a sport. Can be profitable. You can also get rowboats as well. The rivers aren't. The rivers are mostly frozen. The lakes are ice flows. They're not fully frozen. You just have to go out a little bit to go fishing. So if anyone, you guys probably don't have much more than 10 gold for starting gold. So if anyone wants to buy anything, you can say so or type it in the chat or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna get crampons and snowshoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Winston will also get crampons and snowshoes if they're available.
Yeah, I'd recommend it to everyone.
Yeah, I actually already started with them. I saw the handout. I thought it was just like other adventuring gear that we could buy.
Yeah.
But it's also why I'm almost broke.
You can buy them. It's part of starting gear if you rolled for gold. So, when you guys buy the cold weather clothing, you'll actually find that you have to go to Black Iron Blades. Now, there is a bit of a gimmick here at Black Iron Blades, and some of you will know this. So it's a combination shop and smithy. It's just north of the main square. Garn the Hammer, who was actually at the North Look a moment ago, he manufactures the cheapest blades in 10 towns with his sister Elza. They also sell adventuring supplies, rations, cold weather gear, ice picks, snowshoes, and most of the veteran sell swords, so you would know this, Dendovich. You would disdain Garn's smithcraft due to the unaspiring quality of his work. In fact, it's a bit of a joke about hapless newcomers that enter Icewind Dale. The joke will often end with, "And he was carrying a black iron blade to boot," noting of someone's incompetence.
Nice. So just to be clear with the dog sleds, so if a sled weighs 300 pounds and one dog can pull 360 pounds, you would need at least 2 dogs to have dogs pull you on a sled.
Yeah, unless you're like super light.
Unless you're Juris.
Yeah, like a miniature gnome. Yeah, you need basically
Gotcha.
2 dogs minimum.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, it's pretty sparse. This this market square. No, everyone looks very kind of sad. Everyone's pretty down. No one's really cheery or waving to you guys. No one really pays you guys too much attention, and it's almost as if they're not motivated to try and sell you their wares. So it's pretty depressing, but you guys can get what you need, and
Is there any sign of the caravan?
no, Torgs is not here. You could ask around if you like, Mimi. Ask some people.
Yeah, I'll go asking around, seeing if anybody's seen it recently or when the last time they saw it was.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend about an hour going around talking to the town folks, and you can make an investigation check.
I'm gonna just recommend to Mimi, if the lantern hasn't picked up anything once we become stationary, you can just obviously put it out to save the oil.
Yeah, I was actually going to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about keeping track of that oil. It's not something you need to track as a resource.
Okay, that makes things easier for me. Thank you.
You go around spending an hour as everyone's doing shopping and whatnot, talking to people about this traveling company, Torgs, and they've heard of it, but no one knows what their travel plans are. No one knows, like, I wouldn't have any clue where to find it. Doesn't seem to be on any schedule. Comes in some days and doesn't come in others. I heard it's going to be up at Caer Dineval. Or was it Caer Konig? Oh, fuck, or was it Goodmead? I didn't remember. One of the 10 towns at least. Ha ha ha.
She'll thank everybody and make sure she kind of stays with the party. Do any of you, the woman said it's a bit of an illegitimate business. Are any of you kind of maybe connected with the more, I guess, less legitimate side of business in Brin Shander? Do you have any contacts, maybe?
They shake their head. Honest trade only. My father, he came here 3 generations ago and worked himself to the bone catching knucklehead trout. Plied his trade from Scrimshaw so I can have this here business, and died of the cold.
Oh, what's his name? She's just
name-
gonna get caught up in a conversation with this guy about past stuff.
His name was Tifron Speliosis, famous adventurer of these lands 130 years ago. Blood of a gold dragon running through his veins, they say.
Is that Speliosis?
That's just like one of my characters from like when I was playing 3rd edition, by the way.
Nice. I love it.
Alright,
It's a great last name.
You guys have a think about where you want to go next. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Maybe if people leaning towards one quest than the other, or maybe do 2 quests, 2 birds with 1 stone. Think about what you want to go next. Maybe we need to take a vote. But from Brin Shander, you can go to Targos Town, East Haven, Caer Dineval, or Goodmead. So have a think about that. We'll take a 10-minute break and I'll see you guys back soon.
Yep.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Welcome back.
get it.
How's it going?
Going good.
Hey,
Okay, so you guys have spent a little bit of time in the market square. No twingers and no leads on talks. It's still early morning, and in fact, you're just starting to see dawn. It's about 10 a.m. and there's a little sprinkling of twilight peering up beyond the horizon.
So we are in the town square, like while it was night out, or while it was the twilight.
It's I mean, there's only about 4 hours of the twilight per day, so
Right.
yeah, it's just started to get a little dim light now, essentially.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't burn an hour in the square of daylight.
No, this is at the end of the hour of doing your shopping and things like that. And
Okay.
yeah, it's dim light at best. It doesn't do anything to fend off the cold. For those of you that don't rely on dark vision can at least see in very low light now. Everything's got a bit of a silhouette to it. There's a few little trinkets for sale here as well. If you guys want to buy a little souvenir from Brin Shander, someone's selling a beautiful silver tin that, when opened, it emits the smell of rotting fish.
Because there's rotting fish inside?
No. That's what's so elusive about it. Rotten fish tin for sale. 5 gold pieces. Ever wanted the smell of rotting fish? Ever wanted to claim that you're a fisher of Lackdinshire? You can fool all of your guests this winter. Someone comes up to you, Dendovich. Hey, you want some of this? And he has a jar containing an unidentifiable, sweet, sticky substance. It's sweet, it's sticky. No one knows what it is. You want it?
Why would I want that?
Exactly. Why would you, and why wouldn't you? You'd want it because it's sweet, it's sticky, and no one knows what it is. Alright, you seem like a bit of a man of fine taste. Listen, I got this. You don't look like a salt man, you look like a pepper man. I got this pepper shaker. And etched on it is a capital letter W.
I'll tell you what. There's a young lad back there. I'll tell you his name if you give me 20% of whatever coins he throws at you for whatever junk you're trying to hawk.
What good is his name?
He's not going to believe you unless I say you're my friend.
Make a persuasion check, Dendovich.
It's my favorite part of the campaign so far. It's sweet and sticky, and
Why is that
no one
plus
knows where it came from.
3? I don't... Oh, is guidance one? I don't have guidance.
There's a checkbox. Perhaps I was wrong. You are a
Oh, there it
man
is.
after all. I'll take my pepper shaker elsewhere. Snow globe that doesn't need to be shaken! Snow globe that doesn't need to be shaken! Someone starts strutting through the town with a snow globe that doesn't need to be shaken. Get your snow globe! You never need to shake it! Save your calories for the Frostmaiden! With all the shaking you don't have to do.
These are fine artifacts, but perhaps we should be leaving.
Mm-hmm.
We're wasting precious daylight.
Do we have any interest in going to investigate the place where the dwarven glassblower was murdered here?
That's what I was maybe thinking.
Yeah, might as well, right? What,
So-
is there any other thing we could do here in Brin Shander before we start moving out?
I mean, do we know? Like, how are we gonna find out where the murder was taking place? Like, is that common knowledge? Does everyone know? Seb?
It says he was a
You've,
glassblower.
Yeah. You've heard of
Yes.
it, but you know, the authorities, they've covered up the body, and yeah, it's not really the major topic of where it happened rather than the fact that it happened. Most people are talking about that it happened, not rather really locating. You have to talk to people and try and find out.
Some of us are native to here in Brin Shander, right? Would anybody in the party know where that glass blower person could be? Could have like where their house is? It's a small town, right? So wouldn't everybody know everybody?
Well, I mean, this was 1,200 people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's relatively small, but you could make a history check if you're a local. Keep in mind, Brin Shander is only one of 10 towns. Just because you're from the area doesn't necessarily mean that you're. I don't know if anyone actually lives in Brin Shander.
I do.
Definitely been around it a bunch, but
Yeah, I have been here many, many times. Nailed it.
That I don't know if that's relevant to information seeking or not.
That would be more if you're running from someone and some vagrants or something might take you in, hide you in a trash can or something. Here, quick, hide in this trash can, kind of thing. Rest in this sleep in this trash can. Alright, so no one actually knows the glass blower personally. If you want to ask around where it happened, I mean, the most obvious person you'd speak to would be the sheriff. But given the fact that Hlyn doesn't want the authorities involved, you might want to not go that route, and you could just Wild Mimi is trying to ask about Torg. Someone else could have spent that hour making an investigation check and asking around about who this person was.
I wouldn't be opposed to trying to do that. I'm not super familiar with the area, but I want to, make sure that I stay out of the risky parts if they happen to know where the murder happened, so I could stay away from there.
It was Dearest's idea.
So yeah, if anyone just want to ask, they can make an investigation check, except for you, Mimi, because you were looking for other information during this time. And if you want to go to the sheriff's office, it's this building over here, where Markham usually hangs out. Alright, Ash, you're just...
Sheriffs will definitely ask around.
Yeah, Ash, you're just getting some looks. People don't seem to want to talk about it. And Varys, it's the same thing. It's willful ignorance, basically. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. We should be sacrificing like the town speakers tell us to. That's what happens. If you try to go against Oral, she'll find a way. She'll come and take you. He deserved it, in my opinion.
Old-hearted mofos.
getting a little bit frustrated with the cold. Denovich will try to help speed up the investigation.
All right, you go around asking who this dwarf was, and one of the vagrants that hang around in the town square, not by choice but of necessity, they say, "I know where it happened, but you'll have to, give me a little something, a few silver or something, sweeten the deal."
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Money talks, as they say. I offer him like 3 silver.
Alright, so he looks at you. Come on, man, a couple more. I want to go back and drink in the North, look, but I've got a tab there. I'm not going to be able to pay with this. I need 5 silver.
Yeah, fine. Here you go, take your 5.
Alright, thanks, pal. So, What do you want to know about this guy, exactly? The glassblower, right? The dead one.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like, anything you got is going to lead us to whoever or whatever or however this person got killed. Trying to put an end to it.
By a, I staggered through the heart. That's what people are saying. That's how he got killed. Is there something else you need to know, man?
Where was his body found?
They say they found it out the front of the North Gate. Like, outside the town. Straight on the road. For anyone to find. Some of the tower guards spotted him. Gardane Braunaville. Just a simple glass blower. Seemed like a friendly guy. I waved to him and he helped me out with a cheese hunk. Or occasional meat hunk from time to time.
The finest food in the land.
I don't know why anyone would do this to him. I mean, well, I guess I do. Let this be a lesson to anyone who tries to escape Oral's wrath. He got his name pulled. Better him than us, right? My guess is he tried to leave. The second he stepped foot out of that gate, bam! I staggered through the heart. Say, you look like a pepper man. You interested in a pepper shaker?
No, but thank you for your information. You'll keep yourself warm with that drink there. You hear?
Oh, you're too kind. Hopefully this will buy me another 10 days or so. Thank you, friend. And he gives you a firm handshake and he heads off to the North Look.
Alright, I kind of return back to the group and I let them know the information I found. Rumor has it that he was stabbed with the ice dagger, which is, I suppose, is a kind of fitting theme. And then he was found just at the North Gate, and that there was a guardsman, or a watchman rather, that found his corpse that might be worth talking to.
Yes, the guardsman. Good idea.
Yep.
And so there's like towers lining, the walls of Brin Shander that have guard towers here, where the city guard are stationed, and then there are also city watch members that patrol the streets. So you'd find her at the North Gate most likely.
Yeah, do we want to head there?
Sounds like a plan.
I don't think we got anything else going on.
Yeah, might as well. Because outside of that, I think we need to head out of Brin Shander, but yeah.
Keep in mind, this isn't really a murder mystery. Well, it's, not appearing as a murder mystery. Like, you know who the killer is and where you can find them. You just need to find them. But you never know, there might be something more to it. You guys head over to the North Gate, and you're just north of the North Look Tavern. It's the closest building to the North Gate, in fact. You could drop back in for a quick drink if you really wanted. And you go over to one of these towers, and there is this female dwarf atop a battlement. There's a torch glowering. It's a wooden tower, like a wooden tower. It's about 35 feet tall, with a pitched roof and a wooden barricade. When you guys approach, she pops her head over the side of the wall, and she says, "Can I help you?" A rosy shield dwarf.
Yes. Kilgrath is going to be like, we had heard that the body of the glassblower was found here. Would you happen to be the one who found it?
Excuse me, you'll get farther in life with a kind word than an axe. I don't even know your name.
Oh, I apologize. My name's Kelgrath, and we're just wanted to visit and hopefully find some stuff out. And was hoping you'd be kind enough to help us.
Alright, be down in a sec. She comes on down. And she smiles. Ogrek Britlehelm. She trudges through the snow. Can you step off the snow a bit? I'm afraid I'm going to sink in and get lost.
Oh, of course.
I'm
Here you
only
go.
4 feet tall, you know. She crosses her arms. So, what was that you're saying?
Oh, we were just we had just heard that the gruesome murder of the dwarven glassblower was found close by to here, and we were just wondering if you had possibly seen it.
Rest assured, yeah. I'm keeping an eye out to prevent any more murders.
But could you maybe describe how the body looked and anything else that seemed odd about it?
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Calgrath, and I'm just collecting tales to you know, just a curious person. It seems like you're a kind soul such as you could probably use a drink, and at that point I'm going to show like maybe 5 silver to maybe loosen her lips a little bit.
She looks at you with a concerned look. Are you offering me a bribe?
No, just a few drinks at the tavern.
Well, can I do
Give it to me.
that? I'm on duty at the moment, and Sheriff Southwell would have me head if I left me station. Brin Shander's my home, and it's my job to protect her. I can assure you, there'll be no more murders happening like this.
I truly believe you. Like when you say that, I have no doubt that's true. But I'm just a little bit curious about the murder itself. Just
It was
seems-
Oral's doing. You see, that man, the one whom I found on the other side of the wall, he was trying to escape. We was just an hour away from having the sacrifice, and he was nowhere to be seen. That afternoon, I found his body after the sacrifice was due. I stagger through the heart. Let that be a lesson to any of you who tries to go against Oral the Frostmaiden. We've already cursed enough with all these going-ons. We don't need others trying to elude her. She'll drop the temperatures and freeze all of our fingers off next.
Oh, and we definitely don't want that.
Hey Seb, do we know what the normal way the sacrifices are done is? Is it? Oh no, you said they get left out for polar bear food or get burned at the stake, right?
Yeah. So pretty much every new moon, there's a raffle drawn where a ticket is pulled, and whoever's name or number matches that ticket, they are to be sacrificed, and that usually happens in the afternoon. And if you don't want to get sacrificed, apparently, then Oral's going to catch up with you one way or another.
Did they sacrifice someone on that day? Sorry.
Oh, that's why he got murdered, because he tried to not get sacrificed.
Well, that was the thing. Did they sacrifice someone and then they found this guy, or it was just like they didn't sacrifice anyone else, just they just found this dead guy?
Yeah, once they found him, then he was sacrificed one way or another.
So we counted him as the sacrifice, basically.
Yeah.
Do we know which way they were planning on sacrificing him? Is that common knowledge?
Yeah. Stripped bare. He was supposed to be stripped bare and then tied to a post outside the town wall.
Oh, my.
So brutal.
It was not a fun place. This Brin Shander.
Did he have clothes when his body was found?
Aye. He looked like he was ready to make a new life somewhere else. Backpack, clothes, dagger through the heart.
Check.
Yep, those all check mark.
Now, have you all been speaking to the sheriff? Markham?
Nope.
No.
We're just
Oh,
said just curious.
well, if you happen to speak to him, you know, you'll be able to spot him. Tall, broad, dreamy eyes, muscular.
It's a handsome devil, huh?
You
give him.
You tell him
Give
I'm
her a-
doing a good job here.
You can see his
And
pecs
yeah,
all those
if
winter
we,
clothes.
and if we happen to get a chance to talk to him, we'll definitely tell him about how you've been guarding this, so you've been doing your job so well.
She blushes. You're too kind.
Yeah, thank you so much. No, you're the one who's too kind. Thank you for indulging our silly questions.
You're in good hands, Mimi.
Oh, I know. These fellows are nice, especially my Zeph here.
And she'll pat Ash kind of on the leg.
Just to clarify real quick, you said that he was found with the dagger in his heart?
Aye.
Or just the wound? So an actual physical blade, huh?
Well, made of ice.
Right. Made of ice. Just checking.
Well, you can trust in me and trust in Brin Shander. You've all got your raffle tickets, right?
Yes, ma'am. I show her the raffle ticket. We're not trying to evade our responsibility.
Well, I wish you all good luck. And she climbs back up on the tower.
I'm just like, may the odds be ever in your favor, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like we got any strong desire to go to one place over the other, right?
No. We might want to just like, since we're already here at the north gate, just step out and check out the lantern while we're at the gate. See if there's anything.
You light the lantern and it doesn't go green. No twinkers within 300 feet.
Yeah, I think it's obviously we're gonna need some equipment to try to go after the ingots with the Yetis.
Yeah, I don't think we should do that right now.
Yeah.
So we could either go to Targos or East Haven. I think I'm going to vote for East Haven because it is also near Caer Dineval, which we also have a kind of a lead for with the town speaker being missing. And we might be able to, find some more stuff out about the murders and stuff in East Haven.
Sounds good.
Plus, I'm not sure what the status of it is now, but the Eastway used to be actually one of the easier roads to travel.
Alrighty, so
where's that handout that says
East Haven. Alright,
7.5 hours.
You guys are thinking about going to East Haven, so here's some information for you guys. Walking into East Haven is like stepping into Icewind Dale's past. The place is a living example of the boomtown way of life that gripped all of 10 towns centuries ago. In the generations since, as other towns have settled into predictable pattern of existence, East Haven has continued to grow and reinvent itself. After the Eastway was paved, East Haven evolved into a frontier's trader's paradise, fueling the jealousy of its neighbours. East Haven's founders were thieves from the Duchy of Cape Velen, on a peninsula far to the south. They refused to kowtow to a powerful thieves guild and were driven out. To this day, East Haven honours its shady founders by declaring pickpocketing legal within the town limits, which explains the "Watch Thy Pouch" signs posted in various local establishments. An occurrence of note is the recent capture of a red wizard of Thay, who has been found guilty of killing a handful of Dale folk he had hired for an expedition. Speaker Daneth Whalen has issued a decree that the wizard be tied to a stake and burned alive, an event that a lot of East Haven residents are looking forward to. In a nutshell, you've got 2 snowflakes for friendliness, 3 for services, and 3 for comfort. It has a population of 750. The leaders are Speaker Daneth Whalen, respected for his humility and forthrightness, and Captain Imdra Al-Agath commands the town's militia. In times of trouble, East Haven can muster up 150 soldiers for their town militia, and their heraldry is a snowflake at the top center of a steel grey field, above a horizontal brown field that forms the left-hand base, and a dark blue field that forms the right-hand base. Where they meet is a thin white tower. The brown field represents the East Way. The tower represents the town, and the blue field is Lac Dinashir. Their sacrifice to Oral is a humanoid, and their rivals are Caer Dineval and Caer Canol, the 2 Caer towns to the north. 7.5 hours to get from Brin Shander to East Haven. Trudging through the snow and cold and wind.
Does that mean we're there, or you're just giving us information?
Oh, it's a 7.5 hour journey. It's not that easy. That's just information about if you're considering going to East Haven, what you guys are going to call.
Okay.
We basically just looked at the Yelp website.
Yeah.
It's like,
We just
this
Googled East Haven, and it came up.
2 stars.
No, that's just information you're recalling when you consider traveling to East Haven.
Do you guys want to talk to the sheriff?
Not particularly.
Varys doesn't care either way.
I mean, we made a promise not to involve the authorities, so, you know.
I mean, he's not too plussed about it. I don't know that they'd be interested in actually solving the crime if it's just actually sacrificing the people they were going to sacrifice.
Yeah, I think to them it's not really a crime. It's sort of like, it all worked out, basically.
Yeah.
It's a treacherous journey. Not due to the road being rough or any threats from the tundra. It's the cold that is going to make this a treacherous journey. So, do you guys want to go to East Haven?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Sure, why not?
Alright, you'll get to East Haven at about 6 p.m. roundabouts. Just at, dinner time. Night would have fallen hours ago by the time you reach there. Alright, you guys head out along the East Way, and you're not going to really see many caravans or any passerbys on the way. People are going to be seen very few and far in between, and it can almost be like a whiteout. If you get caught in a blizzard, it's going to be bad. You guys will have your cold weather clothing, and I take it that you all bought snowshoes and whatnot. The East Way is fine to traverse without, but it's currently in that mid-range, minus 21 to minus 45 degrees Celsius. Actually, I think you've got a little bit of time where it's not so bad. You do. Alright, it's not too bad for the first 4 hours of travel, and you only get about a usually if you're trudging on snow, not very far. 4 hours of travel, it's about 4 miles trudging along the paved road, but there's a lot of snow built up. So you're about halfway through the journey, and you haven't seen a single soul along the East Way. And the twilight has now escaped you all, and you're plunged back into pitch darkness. using those same methods to guide your way that you said earlier, your current light sources. Alright, it's about 3 hours now to East Haven, or you're a bit further than this, and up ahead you're going to come at the crossroads where these snow-covered wooden signs will point to Goodmead, Caer Dineval, Black Denishire, East Haven, and back to Brin Shander. The cold starts to pick up. It's windy. It's not like a blizzard, but it is windy and it's cold, and it's eating straight through your cold weather clothing. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw with advantage. I'll put your tokens here as well, just if you need them.
Off to a good start.
Cold? What cold? I'll take off my shirt.
How do I do it with advantage?
Where are you? It should be like automatically advantage. Alright, so most of you are doing okay, but the savage cold is starting to affect some of you. The cold eats through your cold weather clothing, through your coat, and it begins to freeze your bones. And Mimi, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. I didn't put the icons. Yeah, I knew I forgot something. You have 1 level of exhaustion. I'll just give you a different icon instead for now. And that means disadvantage on ability checks. And Ash, you're dealing with the cold just fine. Dendovich, hardened veteran, it's not bothering you. Winston, you're okay. Jiris is doing okay. You're not really too bothered by it. And what's your character's name again, Raymond? Your new one, Kelgrath?
Kelgrath, yes.
He's fine, and Varys is fine. Alright, you trudge an hour through these blistering cold winds, and there's no going back now. It's only 2 more hours to East Haven. Everybody make another Constitution save with advantage.
So glad sorcerers there get proficiency in con.
Alright, so Ash, the cold is starting to take its toll on you a little bit, and you now suffer 1 level of exhaustion. You're almost there. You can see the tall, distant spires of the Spire of the World to the southwest, and you must be coming close to East Haven now. You push through another hour, and everybody make another Constitution save with advantage. Varys, the cold's starting to get to you as well, and you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. So you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Nice, bitch.
Alright, you travel for another 30 minutes, and some of you guys are freezing. It's not too bad. And it's pitch black at this time. East Haven is lit up, so you can navigate around East Haven relatively well. And you've just now arrived in the village. You arrive by way of the East Way, and here are some common locales. You've got the White Lady Inn, where you can get a room. The East Haven Ferry used to operate, travel to the Care Towns, but it's all frozen up now. There's no ferry operating. There is a stables if you need one, and you've got the Wet Trout here. It's a place to wet your whistle, maybe search for some rumours. It's a pub. There's no walls around this town. It's fairly hilly, and you've literally just rocked up now. You're all a little bit hungry and a little bit tired. It's about 6 p.m. What do you guys like to do now?
probably head to an inn before continuing on, or are you guys good to invest? It's pitch black. Might be better to just call it and go to the inn and then start fresh the next day.
It's always pitch black.
Pitch blackier. Because we do get twilight, right? So.
Yeah, 4 hours.
I would say,
Well, if it's 6 p.m., we got some time that we could definitely spend here investigating.
yeah, I would do a little investigating before we turn in. Walked all this way.
But then again, the inn isn't a bad place to start
Yeah,
either.
that's what I was thinking. Like, we
You
weren't.
guys are absolutely freezing. Yeah, absolutely freezing. You need to get some warmth within the next 30 minutes, or you'll be making that con save again.
Yeah, I mean, if the inn's closest, we can at least see if there's any patrons in there or whatever.
There should be some
Yeah,
people.
at least talk to the innkeeper. You know, get some warmth into some of our bones, and if we want to head out into the town proper after, we can. But let's at least get out of the cold.
Make sure the lantern's lit as we're walking.
Alright, you light the lantern, and unfortunately, it does not seem that there are any twingers in the vicinity. You guys quickly move through these ramshackle buildings. There's not really any structure to the way the buildings are built. It's kind of just where the building lies is kind of in relative to Lac Denishire and the surrounding woodlands. There's some sort of order, I guess, but you can go through one of these main thoroughfare. There's barely anyone outside their houses. Buildings are all frozen up. Wagons are frozen, and it's quiet. Chimneys are producing smoke, and you see the collective glower through all of the windows of these many little buildings. And up ahead, you arrive at the shore of Lac Denishire. You've got the White Lady Inn up ahead, but there's a bit of commotion down the end of the street. It's just before the town hall. There's a large crowd gathered. There's some commotion going on. Would you guys like to check out the commotion or travel to the White Lady Inn?
Might as well check the commotion, right?
Well, Varys is especially freezing.
It looks like they're starting a bonfire. There's, you can see like lots of firewood. Big crowd gathered around. Firewood bonfire.
Maybe they're burning the wizard early. Let's go check it out.
Oh, that's right. It's probably the wizard, right?
It looks warm.
It looks warm. So let's get some burnt flesh to warm us, shall we?
Sounds marvelous.
Okay, sounds like you guys want to go check out the commotion. Here's an isometric map that you guys can use, and there's someone holding up a torch, or a few people holding up a torch that kind of lights your way. And these are all the buildings and whatnot around here. Lac Denishire over here, and then this is where the bonfire is happening. Someone tied to a stake.
It's just the 4 people around him?
There's more people around as well. There's about 100 people. These are just some people of interest, maybe. So yeah, there's a crowd
We'll
gathered
join the
here. It's just down the road from the town hall, and they're here to watch the public execution of Zan, a human wizard who, despite efforts to disguise himself, was recognized and arrested for the crimes he has afflicted upon Dale folk. He is being bound to a stake and gagged. Members of the militia use torches to light the straw tucked around his feet.
I'm just going to ask, like, one of the guards or something. It's like, what's his crime?
He's a fucking murderer. He killed a bunch of adventurers for no good reason. He's a red wizard. What more reason do you need? A sudden wind washes by you, and as they put the torches on the straw tucked around his feet, that wind fans the fire, which catches quickly. Zan doesn't struggle or scream as he's quickly engulfed in flames. Bundled up spectators move closer to the human bonfire, eager to feel its warmth. Oh, that's good. Ah, toasty. Oh.
I say a little prayer to Jurgle in the dead man's name, the dying man's name.
How does the wizard look like? Does he look like appropriately like I'm on fire, or does he look like calmer than the situation warrants?
He doesn't struggle or scream. He's quickly engulfed into the flames.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to escape. And yeah, it's nice and warm. One of the
very
nudges you, Mimi. Come on then, miss. You're looking a bit cold. Get closer. She'll warm you up. There we go. Oh. People start toasting some marshmallows.
Wow.
Cooking some meat hunks.
Yes.
Yeah, meat hunks, yes. That is is that like the official food of Tantan?
It is now.
Mimi's not a toasting marshmallow state, but she'll put her hands out to just like feel the warmth of the fire.
Right, if you get close to the fire, then those of you that were really feeling that cold, you start to feel a lot better. Just while you're here as well, you notice that the East Haven ferry is quite close. It's trapped in ice, just like the rest of 10 towns. Here's some nice artwork of that. Ferries are just down to the south. You can see this boat. So you guys warm yourselves up, and people are just having a good time, drinking some ale, just chatting and things like that.
What is the ferry normally used for?
It transports goods and people from East Haven to the care towns. It used to, at least.
Assume the river's frozen over, or?
Yeah, it's completely frozen. I'll just show you the map of Icewind Dale quick. So you've got East Haven here, and then there's Lac Dinishir. So they used to transport goods from East Haven to Caer Dineval and Caer Koenig. But no more, it's just too frozen up. I mean, the act there is water in the lake, but around East Haven, for a mile or so, it's all frozen around the shoreline. Anyway.
So what?
While
we're standing...
Oh, you go on. You go first.
Sorry. So while we're standing around the fire with these people and warming up, Rimby's gonna go. So, he killed people, huh?
Oh, yes. Wizard. Evil wizard. Murderer. Killed some venturers, he did. No good reason.
Is he also maybe responsible? We've heard there's some deaths of people who were supposed to be sacrificed. Do you think he maybe killed them too?
Probably. Wouldn't put it past him. He's a red wizard, from what I heard. He's from that host tower of the Arcade in Luskin, and they're no good, them folk.
Maybe kind of shuts up.
This woman bedecked in a tailored coat and fur hat, she approaches you guys. There's people huddling around this burning wizard. I mean, you can't really tell these people apart. They are, you're just seeing eyes basically, and when they have goggles, there's nothing really to discern them from one person or another. Some people are a little bit more exposed to the cold, but it's only because they're near the fire. And anyway, this woman, she comes over. And she just comes up to you, Winston. Hello there. I'm Imdra Algalath, captain of East Haven's militia. I see you're an adventuring party.
We are.
May I
Can we
ask
help you?
about where you are from? Pardon if I'm being rude, but why are you here and where are you from?
Well, we're from a diverse range of places originally, but we've journeyed from Brin Shander. We've been tasked with investigating a murderer.
I didn't ask which town you've come from. What is your hometown, sir?
Oh, yes, I've journeyed here from Neverwinter, but you'll have to ask the others what their origins are.
Winston, make a deception check. Neverwinter, hey? Is there something the matter? You seem nervous.
I mean, even though Neverwinter's cold, it's nothing like here. I'm just not really used to the climate. This Icewind Dale is...
It's the burning person right next to you, isn't it?
No,
Is that what's throwing you off?
It is a little, I have to admit. I can't say I've seen someone burned to death like that before.
He coldly murdered adventurers, ones that had aided us in the past. This isn't an act of vengeance. It's to deter others from engaging in similar behavior.
Oh, it's one thing to agree with something philosophically, and another to have someone burned to death in front of you. I approve that this course of action was taken, but surely you need to understand.
Understand what? He was a
It's just a little
murderer.
confronting.
Very well. Perhaps you don't have the gall for what I was going to request of you. Never mind. If you can't stomach that, huh?
She seemed nice.
Yeah.
All the people here, very nice. All in good moods.
Yep, that's friendliness 2-star. So I'm
worried
actually
about 1 star.
Yeah, I'm actually going to head over to the to that sheriff and be like, "Hi, pardon me, I couldn't help but hear that you might have some sort of task for adventurers." Now, I apologize for my friend here; he's from the south and not necessarily used to how things are here in the north.
Where are you
But
from? Your accent, it sounds like a northern one.
oh yes, I am from the Reged. I am one of the Reged from the Wolf Tribe.
Ah. Have you come here to trade? Why are you in East
No,
Haven?
unfortunately, no. Oh, I'm just coming along with these adventurers. Nothing more. And looking for work, as I'm sure you know. Times are hard, and we need to make a living however we can.
Huh. Well, it is convenient that I am actually looking for some adventurers. Perhaps I should get to know you all better. You seem to be quite a diverse group.
Mm-hmm.
We should speak at the White Lady Inn. If you wish,
Of course.
you can meet me in there 1 hour.
Sounds good. We'll just keep ourselves warm off the signs of justice being done in the meantime.
And
And then I just nod. I just give her a wink or something.
spread this to all of your tribes out there, anyone who goes against the 10 towns, particularly East Haven, and would dare murder adventurers that would help us in cold blood, they will meet the same fate.
Hear you loud and clear, ma'am.
Varys mumbles that it seems like a waste of a good sacrifice.
Shit, my meat hunk's burning.
Yep. That's what you get for toasting both meat hunks and marshmallows. You should only do one.
Varys would like to ask a couple of the 10 towners that are standing around the fire with him if they knew who the halfling trapper was that was murdered a while back.
Make a investigation check to try and get some information out of these not so friendly folk. Well, I guess you could do.
Persuasion,
do
maybe?
as well, but investigation more for finding information. So you ask around, and they just say, if you call it a trapper, not much to be caught around here. Just some unfortunate soul tried to escape the lottery. Found with a dagger of ice through his heart. We all went cold that night.
And I also asked them if they know if Torgs are in town.
Torgs? I don't think so. Come around every now and again.
Alrighty. So then.
No luck there. All of a sudden, this light starts to shine down upon you all, and everything takes on a green hue. You guys look up to the night sky, and you see the Frostmaiden's aurora sweeping over East Haven. It's only bright enough to shower you in twilight for a brief moment before it seems to fade in with the clouds and plunge everything black into total darkness.
Is this a common occurrence in East Haven?
Happens every single night. It's aural, forcing the sun down to stay behind the horizon, or so they say. Happens it can be seen all over the 10 towns.
And that's been happening since the sun died, right? So
Yes. 2 years now.
Oh, okay, so that started once that started.
Yeah. Alright, people are just having a celebration over this fire as it continues raging, roaring, and the 10 towners, they're not very friendly here. Did anyone want to do anything more, or you guys want to head to the inn?
I'm just going to keep a watch on the wizard to make sure that he is being burnt to a crisp instead of just like David Copperfielding his way out of this.
Oh, he is like toast.
Just curious that he's so unresisting. It's like almost feels like part of his plan or something. It's weird.
You got a decent look at him. He didn't even have a look of fear in his eyes. But then, the flames just engulfed him. A young man, youngish looking man. He had a black witch's hat on, pointy hat, black robes, and red scrolls across his chest, or scroll canisters, but no scrolls in it. Definitely a wizard. No, he didn't have a bald head, and he didn't have tattooed on his head like red wizards do. But they just burn him alive. Right, so after that event, people are just talking, and you guys get snobbed pretty bad from the locals. They're not too friendly. That happened like
2 stars.
about here, like just pretty much out the front of the town hall. The White Lady Inn's just down the road. You guys want to head over there, check it out?
Sure.
Do the White Lady.
Cool. There's quite a few folk in the White Lady Inn. You head through a 10-foot wide, 10-foot high corridor, and it takes you to the White Lady Inn.
Alright, I'll immediately inquire about if there's any rooms available.
Okay. Yeah, there's people lined up at the bar here, and everyone's seems to be quite excited. There's Imdra's not actually here yet. She said she'll meet you in an hour. There's Bardavan, who tends the bar, and this is a tavern. This is just as much of a tavern as it is an inn. You go over and ask her for a room. What is your response? Is the reply you get?
A room. Is there any rooms available?
Yep. A room, please, sir.
There's a room. How many of you?
I look back at my companions and slowly count them one by one. 7.
7 of you. 1 second. And you hear the floor creaking. He kind of walks over, it grumbles, and goes through some paperwork. He swipes up some keys. He pushes open the swinging door to the bar. He comes over. He looks over at you. Are you coming or not?
Alright.
It's a very musty old inn. Now, it is named after a local legend known as the White Lady. It's a ghost that's rumored to walk on Lac Denishir, haunting the spot where her rich husband drowned. Bardavan pushes open some doors, rustles around with some keys. And then he does this like sarcastic bow. There you are. A room at your service. And it's just a big dorm style room with bedrolls laid out.
Oh boy. Fine accommodations.
That'll be 1 silver per head per day up front. How many nights you looking for?
Just 1 for now.
He'll take a silver from you all. Alright?
Yep, and we're making a lot of change.
Yeah, you guys can turn 1 gold piece into 9 silver. If you want to piss outside. Huh?
So when I started, I had bought a shield, so I have literally 0 coin.
Roll initiative.
Mimi will. Mimi will cover Ash's, but you will probably notice whenever she refers to him right now, it says Zeph, not Ash.
Okay. If you want to piss outside. Dinner be served downstairs. We have meat hunk and cheese hunk. Nothing fancy. And then he gives one of you a key for the room. 1 key for the 7 of you. Don't lose that key. It doesn't matter who has it. But we'll just say that if we need to know who it is, it's Ferris.
Sure.
So, all of a sudden, you guys hear this voice. Sing a song, a song, a song for the white lady. You seem to be adventurers, and some of these people are so old that they need dentures. Greetings, adventurers. I'm Ronaldo. And it's a strong heart halfling. A minstrel.
I immediately check my pockets.
Everything is in place. How goes it, adventurers? New to town, are we? Fancy a drink and a tale?
I'm always up for a tale.
What kind of tales you be spinning tonight, Ronaldo?
Well, I'll have to see what my fiddle says. I pluck my fiddle, hey diddle diddle. Bartaban says, go outside to piddle. This way, adventurers.
Why are we following him?
Because we're gullible? I don't know.
But he's singing to us.
I remind everyone to watch their purse.
Don't have to watch a purse if you don't have one.
It's called, it's a man purse or a merce. Excuse you.
Do not worry about this tale I'm going to tell you. It's not a terrorizer. Instead, it's about a woman whose husband was a miser. He kept his treasure in a heavy locked chest. That is where he thought his treasure would be best. It never left his side or his pride. Perhaps it was this heavy chest that capsized his boat and sent him to his sunken grave at his behest. Perhaps it was the fright of seeing his dead wife that caused him to capsize the boat and drown. Either way, I'm certain that his treasure lies at the bottom of the lake, straight down. What do you say? Do you like my song?
Seems interesting, yes.
I don't know how'd he roll on his performing score.
Bad. He is not very good. He's like just making stuff up to try and rhyme. Are you staying at the White Lady Inn tonight, adventurers? I saw you have a key to the room. You can sleep next to me.
Oh boy.
But don't worry.
Yeah, no, that's our room. Thanks though.
Oh, you are misinformed. It is a common room. There'll be many people sleeping there. In fact, I've got a dozen other guests quite eagerly to be involved in tonight's seance. You heard my story about treasures at the bottom of Lac Denishire. I believe that this is true. And if we conduct a seance, we could speak to the White Lady, contact her from beyond the grave, and we could ask her where her man's treasures lie. Are you telling that fucking shit again, Ronaldo? Don't listen to him. Bartaban, he's just a fusspot. If you scare off them patrons you're paying for that room. He's a pleasant fellow. Makes a good meat hunk. So, adventurers, I was wondering if you would like to join me for a seance tonight.
If it stops you from bringing 12 other people into the room.
Well, I could tell them to cancel. With you and me and him and him and him and him and him and her and him. That's 8 of us. That's enough for a seance. We'll hold hands and light candles and close our eyes. What do you say?
Yeah, at this point, Calgraph doesn't really believe it, but he just doesn't want like more people in the room.
How's the stench level in here?
It's very musty. Very musty indeed.
I'm not gonna do a big sniff.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it smells mainly like ale, really, and must. Ale and must and dust. Ronaldo says, well, the seance will start in a few hours. This is my seance room. And he points to a room with a circular wooden table, a heap of candles set up, and some pillows arranged in a circular formation. That's where we'll do a seance. Tonight. I'll be waiting for you then.
Varys will take a look at the room. Does he recognize this as like the kind of typical stuff for a seance?
You can make a religion check. You're a bit tired now too, like it's hard to think with your exhaustion. 15. Yeah, you do believe that this is a typical seance configuration. You know, you don't feel like there's anything special about it in terms of the arcane, but if a ghost is listening, they might be able to reach out to them.
Gotcha. Varys is frostbitten and weary from travel, and does not seem very interested in disturbing Jurgle this night. But if everyone wants to do it, he'll begrudgingly do it as well.
Like, Calgraph is just doing it so that you don't have like 12 extra people running around in the inn when we should be resting. Plus, it's like, I'm assuming it's like 12 more like halflings that may or may not be interested in the contents of our pouches.
Maybe we should take shifts for watch.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody in this town, especially since pickpocketing is legal.
Yeah, we're probably have huge targets on our backs if we're new to town and the halflings are already gathering around us trying to get us to do things.
Imdra walks in, and you guys see her make an entrance, and then she takes a seat.
Yeah, let's. I'm assuming we're gonna get some food and drink and try to warm up in here.
Indra is sitting with this other woman who's got some like fishing maps. There's a nice hearth here. You can see a great moose's head hanging above the mantle, and there's just some maps of like Dinashir and the surrounding area, fishing routes and things. And Imdra sees you all, and you're here. Please, it looks like it's quite busy over here, busier than usual. I thought everyone would be at the sacrifice. Not to worry about that. Now, I'm looking for adventurers to help me, but I must ask about you all. I need to know who I'm dealing with. Now, I met you, Winston, and you, Calgraph. And what is your name, miss?
I'm Mimi. I'm from Brin Shander.
Oh, good. A local. And what about you, fellow? And looks over at Ash.
I'm Ash. I'm from... I kind of look towards Mimi at her introduction. The forests of the area.
Why are you in East Haven?
We're looking for some information and trying to make a little coin, and we found ourselves here.
What sort of information?
murders of the people who were supposed to be sacrificed. There was a halfling who was murdered here.
Oh, yes. Yes. Terrible, terrible. Dagger of ice through the heart. I can assure you, though, we'll catch the killer. I'm afraid to say that we cannot link that evil red wizard to that murder, as convenient as it would be. And what about you there? She looks over at you, Varys. Where are you from? Ah, the strong and silent type. I'm guessing he's AFK. She looks over at Juris. What about you, boy? Are you cold?
Not really. I'm alright. Hi, I'm Jiris. I run over and offer to shake hands.
Ah. Pleased to meet you. Boy, where are you from?
I'm from Brin Shander.
Oh, excellent. More locals. And what about your gruff friend here? She looks over to Dendovich.
Name's Dendovich. I just call 10 towns my general home. Never really stay in one town too long, chasing work around.
Oh, yes, I do believe we've met once before. I think you did a little bit of work for me.
Yeah, you look familiar.
Well, perhaps you'd be interested in some other work. You look like the sort of folk that I can trust. You're certainly no evil red wizard. It's these 4 fishes that went missing on Lac Dinnershire about a 10-day ago. The coastline is hard to sail along because of the ice flows, but some savvy anglers prefer it there. Fewer competing fishes from the other lake towns, you know? I need someone to scout the coastline and search for them. You're not busy, are you? Would you be able to spare some time for me?
What's the going rate for this job?
Oh, well, I don't have the authority to reward you. I'm not authorized for that. But I did confiscate some items from that red wizard. You could have them, I guess. I mean, they're in the evidence chamber, but in the town hall, but I haven't had them officially logged. Isn't that right, Gladys? Oh, I haven't checked up there yet. We could, do this under the table. There was a spell scroll and a magic bag. You could have both of them if you find the missing fishes.
I would very much like a spell scroll.
Can't see what anyone's going to need with evidence from a dead man.
Well, yes, exactly. Do you have a boat?
We do not.
Don't worry. I'll organize that you can borrow one from one of the angler docks. You'll be able to then just drag it across the ice into the open water. You'll probably need 2 of them. Over near the ferry tomorrow at noon. That's when I'll have them expect you.
Is noon when it's light out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the beginning of the light?
It's like between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Could we maybe set out at dawn instead of halfway through the twilight?
Oh, yes. I guess that would make more sense. Sure. I'll tell them to expect you at that time. If you need me for anything else, you can find me at the town hall. Come and report to me there when you're done. I'll introduce you to Speaker Wayland as well.
One other question. Would you happen to know anybody else in town that might need help with adventures?
Not currently. If you're looking for rumors, you're better off trying the Wet Trout. Some crazy folk around here. She looks over at Ronaldo, who's like dancing on the bar, and people like clapping and cheering. Alright, well, good luck with your quest. Oh, I guess you need a little bit of information about these fishes. I believe... You know what? You're best off speaking to the anglers. They'll know them better. I can't remember what the name of the boat was. It's Knucklehead Brussels Sprout or something? I don't know. Speak to them. They'll know who you're talking about. I must be going now. I don't want to miss the last of that bonfire. There's still a little bit left, if you want to warm yourselves. Alright, you guys procure yet another quest. Collecting a lot of them.
We didn't get the name for the halfling trapper yet, have we?
No.
I feel like she was probably a good person to talk to about that.
She seemed quite busy, but she did say if you want to speak to her, you'd find her at the town hall.
Right. What was her name again?
Imdra. And yeah, here's that quest handout. Not really sure exactly what the reward is for that. It's a scroll and a bag, apparently. Magic bag. Alright, it's getting fairly late. Like, you guys are probably not going to do any more adventuring today. And Ronaldo's like just... You've had dinner and things like that. After dinner, Ronaldo comes up to you guys. If you're in your room, he'll go into the room. Or if you're in the room, he'll just pop out one of the... he's already in there, in one of the bedrolls. He'll pop out of the bedroll. Hello! So are you ready for the seance?
Oh my god! You just popped out of there!
Well, yes, it's my room too. I live here.
Duh.
Don't worry. I'm hygienic.
Ronaldo, have you led a seance before?
Why, many seances. I have.
And have you had much luck?
No. But my mother said if you stand outside on one leg and you wait for a red peacock to drop a feather onto your left hand, then you hold it for 31 days, never blinking. Good luck will come to you.
Did you manage to do that without blinking?
No. But there's another rumor. It's if 7 brave adventurers come into the White Lady Inn, then you will be blessed, for seances will be complete in the inn. Come. It's seance time. You promised me. I can sense her spirit is close.
Is this one of those things where you're paying for seance members? If I'm being honest, Ronaldo, I don't really believe in this stuff otherwise.
You'll be paid with the knowledge of the treasure. Come in. Gather round.
Better make sure this guy doesn't start slitting your throats or something.
He'll be alright, he's nice.
You think everyone's nice?
Please. Take a seat. So you come to the back room of the inn, and it's like burning incense. Smoke from the incense begins to cloud the room. Multicolored lamps and silks are hung from the rafters, and the light from several candles illuminates a circle of uncomfortable-looking guests. Who are you? As you sit cross-legged on the floor. Ronaldo, he's got this crazy purple robe on. It's way too big for him. It's like a human-sized robe. He pushes back the sleeves, and he raises his hand, and he closes his eyes, and he intones, "Lady who watches from the lake, come to us." And he holds out his hand. "Now, we must join hands, and we must close our eyes. And keep them closed at all times," he says.
Before I grab his hand, can I kind of like poke my quarterstaff into the pillows to see if there's anything underneath them?
Make an investigation check, Mimi. You're pretty damn tired too, with the exhaustion. You're about ready just to go to bed. They're not the most comfortable pillows, but they're pillows, and they just seem to be stuffed full of wool.
Okay, I'll grab his hand.
If I'm familiar with seances, am I normally required to keep my eyes closed at all times?
Yes.
Yes? Alright.
If anyone doesn't want to close their eyes, say so in the chat that you're keeping your eyes open, and if you wanted to peek or something. But he closes his eyes. "Lady who watches from the lake, come to us in our darkest hour," he repeats. "Tell us what you've seen. Perhaps you can help us. Please, wise lady, tell us what you've seen." And nothing's happening. He opens his eyes. Your eyes are open," he says to you, Dendovich. "It's not going to work if your eyes are open."
Your eyes are open.
Well, I'm opening them to see who's peeking. No peeking.
Okay, I blink them closed for a second, and then I kind of just slightly peek out and see if they're closed, and then I open them back up.
He's closed again.
Yeah, I open my eyes back up.
Alright, he continues trying the seance. Why is it not working? And he opens his eyes again, and he points you out. Right, make a dexterity check to try and close. A dexterity save to try and close them in time. Now you quickly close them. "Somebody is not believing. Let us try a little bit more. Please, white lady. I urge you all, fellow adventurers, reach out to the white lady. Believe." And all of a sudden, a wind blows through the window, and it turns the candles out. It blows them out, and Ronaldo says, "It has worked. Open your eyes, everyone." And the windows are closed. You don't know how the candles got blown out. And all of a sudden, thick frost forms on the inside of the room's windows, turning them opaque. It's happening. She is here. You'll need to reach out. And we'll go around the table and see what you guys say or do. Mimi, what do you say or do to reach out to the white lady? It could be, ask her a question or remain silent.
I think Mimi's probably she's probably a little bit skeptical of this. So she's gonna be more like examining the windows. I'm familiar with prestidigitation because I have it. Do I think that maybe this is an elaborate like ruse using something like prestidigitation?
Make an Arcana
To
check
mimic-
to try and identify a spell that's currently active or a spell that's been used. You're not really sure if this is a prestidigitation or not. All right,
She's not gonna say anything then, yeah.
Varus, what do you do to reach out to the White Lady?
I ask if the White Lady is here.
Okay. I will go around like one by one. They'll let you guys know what happens in result of that. All right, you ask if she's here with you. All right, Ash, what do you say you'll do?
So, still with my eyes closed, I'll kind of nod towards Varus as he asked what I was going to ask, and kind of try and continue with, give us a sign, fully invested in whatever we think we're doing.
Okay, so you just keep on concentrating?
Yeah.
You don't say or do anything? Okay. Alright, Dendovich, what do you do or say?
He's not really going to say anything. He's just going to kind of grumble to himself that he's not had enough ale for this shit, and then keep his eyes kind of glued to Renaud.
Okay. Jirus, what do you say or do?
Jirus has just got that huge dopey grin on his face. Obviously, he's having the time of his life. He says, "Hello, White Lady, I'm Jirus. I'm helping."
Okay. Good, that's good, Ronaldo says. Alright, Winston, what about you?
Winston's going to call out to the White Lady and then, in his mind, concentrate on sensing her presence.
Okay. You can make a perception check to try and sense her presence. You do feel a strange presence in the room. The candles went out, but the windows are closed, and the windows are now completely frosted up. You feel like there's someone else in this room with you. Kelgrath, what do you do?
I'm just going to just sort of focus on more, like he was he was like mostly expecting this not to work, so he's kind of actually shocked that whatever it is happening, but it's still like, okay, if this is, he's just going to focus on, please, if you're real, answer, like, show us a sign.
Alrighty. You guys need to try and focus your force of personality to the White Lady to summon her. So, Ronaldo, Mimi, Varus, Ash, Jirus, and Kelgrath each need to make a persuasion check as you're trying to help Ronaldo summon this spirit. Like a group check. 1. Alright, sorry, Mimi, you didn't. You didn't need to actually make one. Sorry. So it was,
Okay, good.
Ronaldo, Varus, Ash. That's 1, 2, 3. Jirus 4, and Kelgrath 5, and Ronaldo. Okay, and here's Ronaldo's. So, Varus gets a 6. Varus gets a 6. Kelgrath gets a 10. Ash gets an 11. Jirus gets a 17.
You are helping.
Something's gone wrong. The White Lady. We have angered her. and all of a sudden you guys feel a powerful force in the middle of the room. But you don't see anything there. But we are going to roll initiative. Cracks start to form in the window and pillows go flying around the room. A pillow flies out and poof, it hits Ronaldo straight in the face. We're going to roll initiative. Let's see.
I have a advantage on initiative. I don't know how that's going to work in the campaign.
It will be cancelled out at the moment from your exhaustion. If you do have advantage or disadvantage, though, just give yourself a +5 or a -5. But we'll just roll now. And there's an invisible force in the middle of the room. Mimi and Ash will just bump you guys down 5 for the disadvantage, just to make it easy. Because of disadvantage on ability checks for exhaustion. And +5 if you have advantage, obviously. Okay. What do you do, Dendovich? Something like smack bang in the middle of the room. You can feel it in this area.
All this stuff is particularly flammable, I would imagine, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, he will just draw his sword and make a quick stab at the middle of the room.
Alright, you can attack the creature. It's definitely invisible at disadvantage. And you miss it. It seems to move out of your reach. You swipe through the air. Alright, it's a poltergeist. And it goes before you, Kelgrath. So it's just like an invisible ghostly force. And it's going to try and throw you across the room back into the feast hall, Dendovich. Make a strength check. Your strength is going against its force of personality, its force of being. You feel yourself being pushed. And it holds you 30 feet and up into the roof. You smack the rafters on the ceiling and then you fall down, almost breaking a chandelier off the ceiling. You take 15 bludgeoning damage and fall prone. It thrusts you telekinetically.
Every time, Jake.
Every start of every campaign. You can bet on it now.
Kelgrath. Ronaldo says, "Run!"
I'm going to try to see if I can calm the spirit down. I'm going to try to persuade her again that we mean it no harm and we're just trying to ask some questions and we apologize for the offense.
Okay. You can use your action to make a persuasion check to try and calm this angry spirit.
Okay, I will do so.
Whew. It apologizes and relocates Dendovich's broken limbs. It telekinetically thrusts his limbs back into place. This spirit seems to have calmed down. You no longer feel the evil presence, and pillows stop flying around the room. However, you guys might want to rush to Dendovich because he needs urgent attention.
I'll cast a healing word on him.
You hanging off the chandeliers again, Ronaldo? No, we're just playing. It's okay. Oh, I'm going to need to buy him new pillows. He's very, very picky about peeing inside.
What?
That was good.
You're not sleeping next to me tonight. I don't care what you say.
All right. You can someone can help Dendovich up, but immediately the white lady, this ghost, starts responding to the questions that were answered by causing or tracing the answers on the frosted windows. And I believe Varys asked, "Are you with us?" And you get a response, "Yes," written on the window.
Oh, well, I'm glad that was cleared up.
God damn it.
Alright, all of a sudden the white lady gets a little bit impatient, so she uses Ronaldo as a vessel, and Ronaldo's eyes, they turn completely white. And he speaks.
I am the White Lady of Lactinishire. Why have you summoned me?
What did Ronaldo was looking for treasure, right? If I remember right.
Yeah.
Specifically out on the lake.
Yeah, supposedly her husband flipped his boat with this treasure chest. He died, and his treasure sunk to the bottom of Lactinishire. You want to know where it was so he could claim it. Supposedly she still haunts the lake at night. Can be seen on a moonlit night out on the lake, searching for her dead husband.
Yeah. So maybe we'll say that we'll look for we want to know where your husband got capsized, so we can find his body, and hopefully you can go to rest.
If it is treasure you seek, there is one who knows where to find it. An evil hag named Maud Chiselbone, who resides in a frozen lakeside cave. There she has a magic cauldron that can conjure enough stew to feed a starving town indefinitely. I do not remember my death or the fate of my lost love, but I have seen what is happening to your 10 towns. The castle in Caer Dinevel, it has become a base for a devil-worshipping cult. And that is not all. You are blind, mortal. Grey-skinned dwarves have been stalking these streets. Invisible. Their intentions are not good. They hide aboard the town ferry and in the ruins of Denev's Rest.
And
Devin's Rest? What is that?
Devin's Rest is a ruin in Caer Dinevel.
And then I'm also going to ask...
Or an abandoned building, I should say.
And then what do you know about this, about Aurel's wrath? Is there any way to appease her?
I know that she is the god of winter's wrath. You will only appease her with your death.
And suddenly the frost dissipates from the windows, and after sharing that information, she doesn't seem to have anything more to say to you guys.
No, what about the 4 fishers that went missing?
Yeah.
No information about
We
that.
blew our 3 wishes.
I will give you a handout with that information, as some very far-fetched information there, which doesn't really have anything to do with what you guys thought you were looking for. However, there is this magic cauldron, and I mean, if she is sincere in saying that it can conjure enough stew to feed a starving town indefinitely, this would be very big for the 10 towns. Alrighty, we're going to wrap up tonight's sessions here, but you guys should all take a long rest up. You've done a full day of adventuring, and you should have a long rest button now if you want it to.
Just to throw it out there before we do this long rest, I want to cast Good Berry with my other slot.
Sure. Cast Good Berry and produce the 10 berries. If you cast it again, those other 10 berries will disappear, so use them before casting it again. And you guys can make any other preparations that you need to. I'll just move you guys over to the room, and then we'll start off next session in East Haven, waking up and with Ronaldo. Hi, he says.
Hi.
I don't know if it would matter, but you would see me be like ritual cast detect magic before going to bed and like check the entire room out and make sure her pot is secure on her head before going to sleep.
Right, yeah, the room is fine. There's no magic lingering in that room, and your pot is still intact. It hasn't been pickpocketed from you. So you guys definitely found there's a lot going on in the 10 towns. You've got multiple quests, and you've heard multiple rumors. So have a think about what you guys want to tackle. Might be better to get some of them out of the way before you collect too many, because then you might get kind of lost as to what to do. So we'll pick it up here next session then.
All right, great. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
If you guys have any questions about anything story-wise or quest-wise or anything, feel free to message me anytime, and use the Discord channel to discuss ideas amongst yourselves as well if you like.
I mean, I just really want to know it's sweet and sticky, that no one knows where it came from.
That is actually the major quest of this campaign, and you just failed it.
I figured.
You'll never know what it is. It already got bought, so you'll have to do with meat chunks now for the rest of the campaign.
Forever.